Warm greetings from the high 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me on this early morning live, 1 a.m. in the high 10. Bringing you said information pertaining to Cash Gernon'S. A lot of hanky panky going on now due to this child's death, a lot of rhetoric, gossip, innuendos, narratives, more drama pertaining to this child. Fox News is the source for the said information, information number one, and then will be bringing you another source of information pertaining to Darryinn Brown. There are reports from neighbors that he had been lurking about, attempting to break in cars, vandalism of video surveillance cameras and such. And I will bring you that source after I read you this first information pertaining to the father not being allowed to attend the child's funeral. Thank you all for joining me. 9 viewing. Thank you so much. One second, please. Thank you all for joining me. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. And all super chats are welcome during the live. Thank you all for your support. I'm going to go ahead and get started because this probably be a winded live since it's a two-part video once again. It's to cut down on doing separate lives per topic. This is a two-topic conversation. Please be respectful to the hostess, the mods, and the chat. Refrain from using any profanity. I will drop the link so you can voice your opinion. I'd like to hear different opinions on the panel this evening. We're going to brainstorm because my mod Crystal will be bringing forth some information that she noticed in the said stills and videos pertaining to the abduction of Cash Gernon'S. Thank you all for joining me. Daily News is source number one. Cash Gernon'S dad isn't allowed at murdered child's funeral, his family says. The family drama continues with a battle brewing over the funeral services for Cash Gernon'S, the Texas toddler who was kidnapped and killed earlier this month. Before turning himself in on outstanding drug charges, Cash's father, Trevor Gernon'S, who left his two boys with a friend weeks before the killing, wants to say his final goodbye to his son. Okay, now they're saying weeks before. Hold on 1 second. Okay. My brother just wants to say goodbye to his son and put him to rest, and this has just been really difficult to figure out, said Ashley Marcoe, Gernon'S sister, in a phone interview with the Daily Beast. However, Melina Seagroves, Cash's biological mother, who now has custody of her other son, Carter, is not permitting Trevor to attend the funeral services as she has blamed him for the entire situation. We've never really had a great relationship with the biological mom's side of the family, and this has not made it any better, Marco said. We talked to a funeral home, and they said both parents have to give consent for funeral proceedings before they can even take a child into their care, Marco added. So we want to work with them just to put him to rest, but the family isn't cooperating with us at all. They're just sending nasty messages. They blame my brother. They blame my mother for not taking them instead. On May 15th, an intruder, police identified as 18-year-old Darryinn Brown, was seen on a baby monitor camera going into Cash and his brother Carter's bedroom and taking Cash while he was still sleeping. 2 hours later, a neighbor found Cash's body in the middle of a street with a stab wound. Brown has since been charged with kidnapping and burglary, but has not yet been charged with murder as police are awaiting the results of forensic testing. Gernon'S, who still has a warrant out for his arrest, has not been heard from, according to Marcoe. She said that he has not left Texas since the killing, but has no other knowledge of his whereabouts. Gernon'S called detectives to try and assist them in their investigation, but received no response back from them. Okay. Okay, so that's very interesting. No response from detectives. I don't understand nothing's going on here. Marco conceded that the best thing for Gernon'S would be to go to jail to find the help that he needs for sobriety. We've just been trying to figure out how to handle this and see if he can just have some sort of agreement in place to attend the funeral, Marco continued, or at least be able to see Cash before he goes and turns himself in. Though Gernon'n has a lengthy criminal record for various crimes, including drug possession, car theft, check fraud, and even assaulting his father over a bill, Marco said that she believes her brother is a good person with a huge heart. I know him, and if he was an actual, I guess she wants to say SHITTY person, and I didn't think that he treated his boys well, I would not be on the phone with you right now. I wouldn't have posted that statement. I would have disassociated from him, Marco said. But I know his heart and I know who he is. He's a good person. He's just made some stupid choices. That said information is by the New York Daily News. Bear with me while I continue to take notes. Okay. Thank you all for joining me. One second, please. Thanks for joining me. All right. I'm bringing you the next source pertaining to this saga out of Dallas, Texas. Thank you for your patience. Okay. The second source is Fox News. Dallas neighbor says suspect Cash Gernon'n kidnapping was reported to police month earlier. Report. A neighbor of the murdered Dallas 4-year-old said he reported the man suspected of kidnapping the child a month before he was found dead in a street, according to a local report. The community gathered Monday night for a meeting with city leaders and police to speak about their concerns after Cash Gernon'n was found dead on May 15th. The man, who preferred to remain anonymous, told WFAA-TV that his home surveillance camera recorded a man who he said appeared to be 18-year-old Darryinn Brown, the suspect in the child's alleged kidnapping, trying to open car doors in his driveway on April 19th. He and other neighbors told the station they alerted police several times about the prowler, who they believe was Brown, but officers never followed up. How do we make sure that this doesn't happen again? The neighbor asked police at the meeting. We called a month ago and now a child's dead. A jogger found Cash dead in the street, Southwest Dallas neighborhood in the morning of May 15th. The Dallas County Medical Examiner determined Cash's death was a homicide as a result of multiple stab wounds, local news station CBS DFW reported last week. Assistant Police Chief Albert Martinez has said it appeared the child suffered a violent death and that an edged weapon was used. And as most of you know, surveillance footage from the home where the boy was staying shows the suspect, who the woman identified as Brown, taking Cash from his crib and carrying him away from the camera's view. According to the detective's arrest affidavit obtained by the Dallas Morning News, Brown has been charged with kidnapping and burglary. He was being held on a $1.5 million bond. No murder charges have been filed as of Tuesday, but authorities have said additional charges are expected once forensic evidence has been viewed. Fox News' Stephanie Pagonis contributed to this report. Fox News is the source for this second information. So a neighbor who wants to remain anonymous told WFAA that his home surveillance camera recorded a man that he believes is Darryinn Brown trying to open car doors in his driveway on April 19th. So that would have been a week ago. So he and other neighbors told the station they alerted police several times about the prowler, who they believe was Brown, but officers never followed up. I don't know what's going on pertaining to Mr. Brown, so I'm going to get to him last. Let me start with my first source, which is pertaining to the father, who is now saying he can't attend the child's funeral. Let me get my notes. Because it's going to be, oh, Lord Jesus, a lot for me to say. Hold on 1 second, please. Thank you. Get me some grown folks lighting in here. Thank you all for joining me. Okay. Thank you, Air Force. Thank my mods. Amen. Thank you all for joining. I got 31 viewing. Okay. Why now all of a sudden the mother is concerned with the welfare of her child? If we're to believe Ms. Sherrod's wording commentary about this mother, Melina, that she was not around, gone for 2 years, dropped the children off when the man got out of prison at his grandmother's house, took off, went into the world, did her thing. Now she's an alleged truck driver. Allegedly did not FaceTime the children 2020 December, Christmas. Why now is she involved? Is she actually the caretaker of the remaining child, Carter? Does she actually have physical custody of the child? Because if she's a truck driver, how is she going to raise this child? Or does her mother have the child? Interesting that this sister of Mr. Trevor says, I think they're mad. She's mad at me because, or mad at my brother because my mom didn't take in the child. Well, first of all, allegedly, Sherrod says the child was dropped off, the children were dropped off with the father at the grandmother's when he got out of jail. So they were staying there with he and the mother at one point before he hooked up with Miss Sherrod. And my thing is this. You have a mother, Miss Melina. Why the hell you didn't leave her with your mom? Our way. You just want to be free, fancy, tired of raising kids? What is it? Why did you drop your children off allegedly to Mr. Trevor and his grandmother, if we are to believe Miss Sherrod's commentary? Why would you be holding a grudge? Because his mother, Trevor's mother, didn't raise the children. He was a misfit, still a misfit. Maybe the lady couldn't do it alone. Who's to say? Is your mother actually able to take care of the children? How old is your mother? How old are all these grandmothers? I'd like to know. Very interesting commentary. Sad that at the end they're arguing over who did what, didn't do this. And why does the funeral home need two parents to consent to the child being signed over? I don't understand that. They know the situation. They know the father's on the run. So what is the big deal? The child needs to be buried. Once the body's been released from the medical examiner and someone has actually claimed the body, then let the people bring you money to pay to bury the child or whomever. It's disrespectful to hold the dead out over two squabbling adults who obviously weren't in the child's life as of a week ago, unless I've been sleepwalking. Help me understand. It's BS. Yes, everyone involved is trash, indeed. That's the problem. That is the problem. That everybody involved, it's got secrets, tainted, criminal records, junkies, get high, got high, used to get high, need to turn themselves in. Now everybody wants to be a good Samaritan, Captain Save and Ho, Miss Save a Ho. I want to be the good one in the group. A little late for that now. One child is dead. Stay woke. Is this a ploy to get sympathy, Mr. Trevor, trying to act like he wants to turn himself in? What we have to tell ourselves is it's his arrogance, his self-absorbed attitude, narcissistic behavior is what got us in this mess in the first place, besides whatever the hell went on with the mother not wanting to raise the kids. You see, Mr. Trevor, you not wanting to abide by the rules and regulations of the law is what got this ball crunk, alongside the baby mother as well. You see, you leaving your children with this woman, yes, got all this mess started. Okay? Got all this mess started. And now you want to play what? You want to view the body, this and that. Well, we got common sense enough to know you go view the body, 9 times out of 10, they're going to arrest you. And that's why you know you don't want to show up. You may want to view the kid's body, but you should know common sense. They'll arrest you, Johnny, on the spot. As Air Force said, could be a ploy to make up. They need both parents to sign off on burying the child on paperwork in order to lure Mr. Trevor Gernon'S out. Good call, Air Force. We will see if he actually shows up. If he'll make an attempt to set up an arrangement with the district attorney's office or whomever to turn himself in so he can view the body of his dead child. But I don't know what to believe. But I know this needs to stop, this nonsense. Okay. Why did Melina take these children to be left with the father? What was her reasoning? Was she attending school at the time, driving school? How long has she been a truck driver? Why now is she wanting to be involved in the children's lives? What about her job now? How will she be able to raise the child if indeed she has sole custody now of Carter? How will she be able to be a driver? Long haul, weekend driver only, 2 weeks at a time on the road, 3 weeks at a time on the road. Which is it, Melina? Talk to us, tell us. And does she have custody? She, or is it Connie, the grandmother? Who has custody of said child? And as I said, Trevor trying to pull a fast one with this woe is me. I want to see my child for turning myself in. What is the truth? The poor baby, Carter. What is he thinking right now? His twin is gone, bludgeoned to death, murdered. He's now being thrown in the midst of being back with his mommy, grandmother. How do we know how long it's been since either party has had contact with the child? What about his feelings? Does he get a say in any of this? 4 years old? Probably not. Probably not. The fact that this article states that Mr. Gernon'S left his children weeks before the killing, well, that's not actually true because it's Miss Sherrod's wording that the children were staying with her before he actually moved in with her before the new year. If I am to stand corrected, please go re-verify what the Daily Mail has said. Now, this article is saying he just left the kids. Well, you couldn't have just left the kids, Trevor, because allegedly Sherrod says you left her house in March. Well, it is now the month of May, so you couldn't have just left. Or as someone in the chat said the other day, is that a lie? Could it be that all this is a lie? Could it be Mr. Gernon'S been around the whole time? Who's to say? Do we have surveillance of that? Mr. Gernon'S last day at this said house, since there are cameras around the house. I'll wait. Come on, neighbors, bring those doorbell cameras out. Let us see who's been going and coming out of Miss Sherrod's house. Ooh, my. What those cameras would tell. By Satan. But y'all didn't think about that, did you? What those doorbell cameras would tell about Miss Sherrod's company. Who's been coming and going out of her house? Shut your mouth. Maybe that is why Darryinn Brown has not been arrested for murder of Cash Gurney. Come on with it. The tea is boiling. Oh, mercy. Darryinn Brown, you have been a busy bee from what the neighbors are saying about your behavior in the neighborhood. You've been lurking around, messing with cars, vandalizing cameras, opening gates close to the Miss Sherrod's home. What's that all about, Darryinn? Are you a peeper, petty thief, stalker? What's going on with you, son? Why have you been lurking around these neighborhoods? And my understanding is that you don't live close by. You live farther out than the actual crime scene where the child was discarded, dumped. So one would have to say, why is he lurking in that neighborhood? I'll wait. Do you have a car, Darryinn Brown? because Big Angie's getting ready to tie that into the abduction of Cash Gernonn. Stay woke, everybody. Stay woke. How many complaints have been filed against Darryinn Brown? Is he the actual African American that has been lurking about that said neighborhood or other neighborhoods that have been complaints that people believe is Mr. Darryinn Brown? Could he have a doppelganger? You know, some people aren't good at identifying Black people. I said that because I've seen it happen. Black people are the most unique race of people on the planet, and we all do not look alike. Amen. Does Darrynn's parents know of his lurking about, break-ins? What do they know about his behavior of him lurking around neighborhoods? Have people complained to the parents directly of his extracurricular activities? What does Mimi Brown and her husband know about the son's behavior? Is he actually mentally disabled? Or has he been pulling the wool over someone's eyes, perhaps? What is the truth? Is he schizophrenic, bipolar, depressed, homicidal, suicidal, mentally challenged? What degree, if he is? Third grade level, second grade level? Is he toddler level? Stay woke. What is the truth of Darryinn Brown's mental disability? Or is he even mentally disabled? Could it be he's just a depressed teen, wayward teen, haven't had proper rearing, spoiled child, just doesn't damn mind? Why has the police not been involved with these said neighbors' complaints of alleged Darryinn Brown's activities? What's wrong, police? Too busy out there in Dallas trying to find the killer of Mo 3? You can't focus on petty burglaries and attempted burglaries in the neighborhoods? I'll wait. Let's get it together. Men and women in blue. Yeah. Very odd. Very odd indeed. How many charges does Darryinn Brown have on the record? As I state, any activities under the age of 18 will be sealed by the court. So has he had arrest while under the age of 18? What has he done? What has he been accused of, and what has he actually done on paper? Very, very strange. Let me say this to some of you who don't really pay attention to what is being said in true crime stories, such as this one. You see, one thing I've always told you all is to pay attention to the details, because in the details is where you're going to find your killer, where you're going to find your cohorts, your co-conspirators, those who aided, abetted the criminals. You see, the neighbors have just told on themselves about Darryinn Brown. I'm waiting for somebody in the chat to say, oh, Big Ange, I know where you're going with this. I'll wait. You see, when you went to that meeting to say, hey, this young man's been lurking around the neighborhood, you all left out something. Is somebody in the chat listening? He walks around. He walks around. Stay woke, everybody. He walks around. He walks around. Oh, my goodness. Don't do it, Angela. Don't do it. He walks around. So if he's walking around, how in the hell did he get that child 8 blocks to his resting spot, disposal spot? If Darryinn Brown has been walking around this neighborhood, which he possibly does not live in, stay woke, everybody. How the hell has he been getting around from point A to B? Walking, riding a bicycle, skateboard, scooter, motorcycle, or automobile. Darryinn Brown, do you own a car? Because if I am to believe what the neighbor's saying about you, I wouldn't think you owned a car unless you are parking blocks away while you scavenge these neighborhoods, this one in particular. And why is that? You're parking a block over, two, three, get your goods, then hightail it in your car, drive your car home to your nest, unload your goodies, out of the way, not seen. He hits the jackpot. No witnesses. But we know that's never true in a day of modern technology. Doorbell cameras. Darryinn Brown, do you own a car? Because if you don't own a car, I think you all know where the queen's going with this. How in the hell did he get that baby out of that house by foot, 8 blocks, carrying a dead baby to dispose of in the street? I'll wait. Are we talking about a two-party kidnapping and murder? Because if Darryinn Brown doesn't own a car, then that means Darryinn borrowed a car to get to the said Sherrod house, or someone in that house aided Mr. Brown in the kidnapping and death of Cash Gernonn. Who might that be? What is the motive, if indeed somebody in that house helped the kidnapping and death, bludgeoning of a child? You see, I told you all to stay woke. You see, sometimes that rattling of the tongue tells the story. You see, now that the neighbors have come forth to say, yeah, he's been lurking around. Yeah, he's been lurking around. The one thing they left out is how he's been lurking around. By foot or by car. What is the motive? What was the motive, excuse me, for the death of Cash Gernonn? 4 years old, can't work, couldn't drive a car, just a child, just a toddler, living, breathing, and was snuffed out as if he was nothing. For what reason? Because we already know there is no sane, lucid reason to murder a child under any circumstances. The devil made me do it. The meth made me do it. The crack, the heroin, the fentanyl, which was it? Take your pick. Any, mini, miny, mo. Catch your killer by his toe or her toe. I said that. Thank you, Mama's baby. You see, I smell Cal City all over again. Ain't that right, Air Force? We're going to keep it 100. You see, in this game of true crime, when you start looking at all the key players, there's one thing that they all have in common. They're tainted. They've broken the law. They've gotten high. They're drinkers, alcoholics, frauders. They like to take things that do not belong to them. Look at the bio father's record. Do we need a recap of what the article stated about him? It's not nice. Like I said, we all are sinners, fornicators, make mistakes, get high, drink, former addicts, alcoholics. But you have to still stay woke to know that at some point you have to change and want to change. Because you see, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. Those are Dr. Phil's words, if you like Dr. Phil. Oh, mercy, mercy, mercy. These are busy people in these storylines, and that's what they all have in common, whether they know each other or not, whether you want to believe who's involved or not. Bio family, adoptive family, caretaker, side pieces, rambling, burglars. They're all tainted. That's the common denominator. Sister said he needs help for his sobriety. Does he want help? Because you see, like as I stated, the fact that he didn't want to get help is what got him in his mess in the first place of leaving his child with Miss Sherrod. He cared more about himself. He's self-absorbed. He's a narcissist. Me, 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 me. It's all about me, what I want, what I need. F them kids. They all right, as they say in the street. They'll be all right. I trust Miss Sherrod. But Miss Sherrod looked doped up during her interview with the Daily Mail. This is who you trust with your children. But you see, birds of a feather flock together. Perhaps you are a junkie, Mr. Trevor Gernon'S. So you would trust a junkie with your children. I said that. I said that. The best thing for Gernon'S would be to go to jail to find the help that he needs. This is from his sister. But Sissy, he must want help first. Ting. The crimes of Mr. Gernon'S are drug possession, car theft, check fraud, even assaulting his father over a bill. And yet the sister says he's a good person with a huge heart. Stealing someone's car? Now, we can really compare the two, Mr. Trevor against Mr. Brown. Brown is just getting started, where Trevor already finished. Come on, Queen. You see, he's stealing a whole damn car. But he's a good person. Not stealing out of Walmart a pair of socks, video game, a whole car. Check fraud means you're taking people's identities. Putting your hands on your own father, but he's a good person. Why would you assault your own damn dad? Because what? You stole from him, he caught you, or you tried to take his money from him, but he's a good person. I'll wait. But this is who the mama left her children with. Poof, here, take them. I don't want them. I don't need them. I'm checking out. I'm done. Who? Gotta go. Bye. Roscoe, them your children now. Now she's back on the scene, baby mama, because one baby's left alone. That is twin, unfortunately. And now she wants to be the grand poobah of the group and say, I don't want him at the funeral. He's the cause of my baby being murdered. Well, Queen, guess what? You are a party to the madness too. Because you threw him off on him and poof, voila, magic, disappeared. Ting. How long have you been gone, Melina? Stay woke, everybody. I've been woke. I've been woke. You see, the common denominator in this case is like all the other cases. They're all tainted, self-absorbed, users, abusers, addicts, empty vessels floating around doing them. Not worried about you, mama, daddy, son, daughter, Pookie, Ray Ray, nobody. It's all about me. I got to get my fix. I got to get my high. That's most important. F the world. It's all about me. But you see, that F the world got your baby killed because you left your baby with somebody who wasn't capable of raising her own damn children, was not a good role model for her own damn children, nor your two. Whether you liked her, favored her, thought she was a good person. Miss Sherrod was not the person that should have been watching your two children, Trevor. And two addicts don't have any business coinciding with one another, because how can you two better yourselves? Raise children, it doesn't work, it ain't never worked. And everybody knows that. And anybody that's been around an addict knows better. You have no business raising children, watching children, rearing children, working in the school system, driving the school bus. You get my drift. You don't leave a damn baby with a drunk. Come on, Queen. Mama, she like to have a few little drinks. She good. Whoops, until she's had too many and pop, something bad happens to the baby. Such as mama gets drunk, turn the stove on, fall asleep. Now the house is burning down with a baby crying in the crib. Come on, Queen. Or we take the baby on a quick dope run. I just need a quick fix. Give me something for 10, give me something for 20. Baby in the back seat. Shit pop out. Somebody try to rob you, steal your purse. Now guess what? They might want to steal your car with your grandbaby in the back seat. But you was just going to get a quick fix. I'll wait. You see, you got to rob Peter to pay Paul. Come on, Queen. How you gonna get your fix? You ain't got no job. 4 kids in a house. The state has probably been kind to Miss Sherrod by aiding her with funds, food stamps, probably HUD. Who knows? She doesn't look very, what's the word I'm looking for? She didn't look kept in that Daily Mail interview at all. But this is who Trevor thought was the right person to raise his children while he went on the run. And now you sitting here talking to your sister on a YouTube channel and all these other shenanigans about going to a funeral. Dude, just shut the hell up. Turn yourself in and go get yourself some help. And then try to find Jesus on your way to getting help. Because in the end, that's who you need the most is Jesus. You're wayward and you're selfish. And it's your selfish acts is what got your baby killed. And you should be tried along with whomever killed your baby. And the mama too. And I'm saying that on God. Because you all played a part in the death of Cash Gernonn. Did Darryinn Brown do this on his own? Was he coerced? Say it again. Or he's just evil. Nothing wrong with him, nothing mentally wrong with him. Lucid, sane. Baby killer. Who is he? Is he that? Petty burglar, cat burglar, peeping Tom lurker, or cold-blooded baby killer? Which is it? Or is it both? Because you got to remember, you got to start somewhere to end up somewhere. So are we talking about the start of a predator? Because it starts with petty things such as starting fires, stealing, lying, mischievous behavior, thievery, theft, lurking, peeping, burglary, sexual assault perhaps, kidnapping. Have to have a start. Is he a killer? Darryinn Brown. Crazy nonsense, this case. If I didn't know better, I'd say somebody is related to somebody from Cal City or Bakersfield, California. Shut up, Angela. Somebody got a cousin out there. Because I smell a family gene running in this storyline. You want to join the panel? I will drop the link. And you are welcome to tell me what you think of the mother of Cash and Carter Gernonn not wanting the bio father to attend the funeral. Will he turn himself in, Mr. Gernonn, to work out a deal with the district attorney so he can visit his child before going to jail? And the new news of Mr. Brown being seen attempting to break into cars by a neighbor, vandalizing said property from neighbors. Who is Darryinn Brown? Is he a petty thief, burglar, cat burglar, or is he a cold-blooded killer, or is he all of the above? Thank you for joining me. 1 second. One of my mods will have something to bring to the panel, something she noticed in the said video of pictures of the children's bedroom, and she will bring forth that said information, and she's going to enlighten you all on something that perhaps you did not notice in those said still pictures of the children's bedroom. and then you can decide for yourself if this is a staged crime scene of the children's bedroom. And Crystal Moore will be the initiator of that said information here shortly. Thank you all for joining me. Hit the link if you want to join the panel. Krista Moore, please be the first to hit the panel to come up to bring your commentary pertaining to what I've said and the news that you want to enlighten the chat on the findings of the said still pictures of the bedroom that the children shared, Cash and Carter Gernon'S at Miss Sherrod's home. Thank you all for joining me. Hello.
Hello, Queen.
Hi, baby. How you doing?
I'm good. Hello, chat.
I'm Gucci too, baby. I'm woke, ain't I? Shut your mouth. What do you think of what I've said before you go into the information that you're going to reveal to the chat?
Hmm.
Please enlighten me on the information that was brought to you pertaining to the biological mother not wanting the father to show up, him perhaps turning himself in to the police, and or him working out some agreement with the district attorney to go to the funeral first, then on to jail, and the information from the neighbors, plural, of Mr. Brown lurking around, breaking and entering, attempts to break in, and the information I brought to you about perhaps there are other conspirators due to the fact a car has never been mentioned of Mr. Brown's possession to rob, steal, kidnap, and murder Cash Gernon'S on May 15th.
So, first with the neighbors saying that
Mm-hmm.
he is known in that area, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's not his first go around uh Monica and Cameron tried to portray. He's used to that. He's used to that
So you
area.
saying the version changed. So what you're saying is what they said initially changed. Why?
Yeah, because the
Mm-hmm.
neighbors came out and said, "Oh no, we've seen him around here before." So of course
Right.
they had to clean their story up. Like, oh shoot, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as the mother saying that the father shouldn't be going to the funeral, well, she should have all her rights taken anyway. I mean, I don't even
Mm-hmm.
know how can she even make that call. She shouldn't go either. Then
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there I don't see what is she. Why? What would be her? Why can't he go to the funeral? What? Because
Mm-hmm.
he left his child and this and that. I understand that, but she also did too.
Yeah,
So
she did the same. She did the same. She dropped them off allegedly. That
exactly.
Mr.
So
Brown said and kept it moving.
yeah. So she shouldn't go either. Then.
Ting. Okay. I was gonna say something. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Uh, Lord, I can't remember what it was. Hmm. It'll come to me. It'll come
And
to me.
and and if everybody's seen Brown in the neighborhood,
Hmm.
they didn't see him with the car.
Hmm.
They seen him walking around, whatever, breaking
Never
into
in the car.
cars.
Never once got in the car. Imagine
Yeah.
if no one's ever seen him in a car. Ooh, my goodness. Then that means how did he get that baby down 8
Hmm.
blocks? I'll wait.
Yeah. He had help, definitely. He did not do this
Mm-hmm.
on his own.
Mm-hmm.
There was help.
You believe the cameras have told the story? The doorbell cameras have told the story. That's why he hasn't been arrested.
I do. I do. I believe that there's videos that we
Haven't
public
seen it.
have not seen, and they're not coming out with that. They're trying to get everything together, and then they're gonna go ahead and go on it to whatever that address is and go arrest everybody that's involved in that case.
And where's the cameras? And where's the cameras for outside of the house, inside of the house? Where is that other footage of said commentary? Because I got a funky feeling if Darryinn was in that house, as it's being reported, you would have footage of him just walking about, eating a sandwich, using the bathroom, going over here, going over there. Might be slipping in somebody else's bedroom. Come on, Queen. That part. Do you think he went in some other people's rooms in that house? I'll wait. Huh?
Yep, sure did.
Whose room might he have gone in?
I think he went into that mama's room.
And why would he be going in Mama's room?
She had a little sweet something on him or something. She did. Yeah. I think it was a little bit of something, because she also had stated, I told him not to come around my kids. I don't want you.
Yeah, I don't want you. I don't want you around my kids.
Yeah, she said, I don't want you, period.
That's what we call it in the street, sober thoughts.
Yep.
You slipped at the tongue because you basically were saying, hey, we ain't in cahoots no more. I don't want you in my house, period.
Yeah.
Not about the kids. It ain't about them kids. It's about us.
Yep, because she sure did.
Let me say that. Allegedly.
Yep.
What you doing here? Didn't I tell you don't come back around here?
I don't want you.
Come to my house?
Yep.
Could it be? Wait a minute, Queen ear ringing. Could it be? I knew she wasn't there, so that's why I went to the house, slip in, wait for her to come back. Could it be that?
Possibly.
I'll lurk around. She ain't here. What she gonna do? They done let me in. I'm in now. Poof, voila, she pop up. I don't want you here. But I don't know you to tell you I don't want you here. Come on, Queen.
Yep.
How'd he get in the house? I'm gonna say it again, because y'all ain't walk out there. How did Mr. Brown just walk up in somebody's house and ain't nobody tried to jump him, floor him, beat him in the head with a skillet, call 911? Where is the 911 report that he walked in your house days ago, breaking and entering? Come on, Queen.
Yep.
I told y'all to stay woke out there.
Yep. It's not the first time that
hoodwink and bamboozle you.
Yep. It's not the first time he's been in that house. Nope, not at all. Cameron lying.
It's all about that joy that he allegedly left the kids in March, but we're talking about people who get high. You cannot believe the words of people who are under the influence. Not saying that some things that come out their mouth is not the truth, but let's be truthful. This article I just read said he left the house before the killings. So now that's a lie. Let's talk about that as well. Why now this article, the Daily News, is saying he left weeks before. So which is it? He left in March or he left weeks before? But see, somebody in the chat said that the other day. And how we know he left in March? We don't know that.
Right. Yep. You're just going off of what she said.
He left. Miss Sherrod has been the orchestrator of this case. She's been the head knocker of this case. She's been the only one talking the most.
Yep.
I don't know, Lady, why they murdered the baby. That's the whole point of this case. We don't know these people. So we're trying to put a rationale behind murdering of a child. But you should know from Cal City, from the cases in Ohio, cases in New York, all over the United States, you don't need no reason to kill a kid. Didn't I tell you all, don't ask why? Ask why not. You see, when you ask why not, you say to yourself, that's cruel to ask why not. That means they enjoy it. They wanted it. Yes and yes. Because you're a sadist. You're working for the devil. And oh, and by the way, he don't pay you nothing. So you ain't gained nothing but temporary satisfaction to kill somebody. But to you, it feels good. So don't
Mm-hmm.
get offended by what the queen is telling you, because you know I'm telling you the truth. There are people who get off on torture,
Mm-hmm.
watching you squirm, beg for your life, watch you be in pain. You've heard many say, I get off on it. I get high from watching her beg for her life, him beg for his life. I get off on it. And some actually get sexually aroused by torturing another human being.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you don't know these people. We don't know anybody in this storyline. And what we have seen in the storyline, as we've seen with other cases, they all are tainted. They all have major mad problems. They all are childish in behavior. They all fail their own children. Everybody involved, except for Darryinn Brown, he don't have any children. But he is also has some issues because he
Right.
likes to pick up things that don't belong to him.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And until they bring us forensics, we cannot yet say he is a murderer. But it's how it looks. He's in this house. Allegedly, he's the one on the camera. Black and white. Whoop, color version. That's him.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't take child, Carter. Why not? He had the opportunity. He was bold enough to return. Why not? You're already in there. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, stay woke. Do you know if that's the actual footage of May 15th? Stay
That's right.
woke.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a time stamp. Stay woke.
Yep.
You don't have more footage showing him coming and going in and out of the house, around the house. Stay woke.
Yep.
Everything you've heard pertaining to the death of Cash Gernon, the kidnapping of Cash Gernon has come from one source mainly, and that is Miss Sherrod.
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Who did it, baby?
But that
Who
boy
helped
did it.
her? Mhm.
Her son, and uh, what's his name? Brown. Yep. I think that he orchestrated it. I truly believe it was an inside job, just from everything that I've noticed.
So you think he was jealous of the children?
I
She
do.
doted on them, talked about them too much, like they were her only
Yep.
children. She act like she
Yep.
didn't have no other children. She's embarrassing us. She act like them her damn kids, and them ain't her damn kids. What about us? Maybe we
Yep.
aren't worthy of her attention, so we gonna snuff out these children one by one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we only did one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Cameron was jealous. It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out.
What
He
do you
he
think about? Go ahead.
he thinks that he orchestrated it, but he didn't. He did an okay job, but he didn't. It Nah. They're gonna catch him because there's too
What do you
many.
think about the sister saying that she thinks the baby mama's mad at the baby daddy because he didn't leave the children with her with his mama? But we know if we to believe Miss Sherrod, she did do that. She dropped the kids off at his grandmama's house because that's where the hell he was staying. His grandma
Mm-hmm.
or somebody. So I don't know if that's his grandmama or his mama. But she said our mother. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out, is she the same person that he was staying with when he got out of jail? But the article I read earlier said he was living with his grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, grandmother, mother, whichsoever,
Mm-hmm.
what are you crying about? You threw your kids off on him, and it's not to say he shouldn't have been uh, glad to take care of his children, but if he wasn't in a place to take care of his kids financially, why would you just drop them off and leave them? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you saying you didn't give a damn about your kids, Because I'm not gonna just go leave the kids with somebody who couldn't take care of them, especially somebody that just got out of jail. That makes no sense. But you didn't care. So
Yeah.
why would you do that? And now come forward once one of the children is dead. Now you want to act like you've been there all along for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
The sister and his mom couldn't handle them, so he left with them in another article I read. Mo 3, that sounds about right. Or the grandmama wanted him out the house. Hey, you grown, get your own. You got these kids too. You got to get the hell out of here. This is why I keep trying to tell you, you don't know people and you don't know what's the truth. And there's certain things about people's lives they do not want revealed to the public. So he ain't getting ready to sit here and tell y'all everything that happened with him, his mama, grandmama, and his kids. Because he don't have to tell you nothing. And that baby mama, she ain't getting ready to tell you nothing either. That's why she was quiet in the beginning when the news came out that the child was dead. They talking about, well, we just trying to process the situation. Nah, it's more than that. You don't want to talk because you know somebody gonna ask you where the hell you been.
Yeah.
And you gotta have an answer. That interview showed she was on hard drugs. What if she didn't pay a drug debt? We don't know, Ashley. But the point is, why they gonna go in that room and mess with one child? How they know to go in the room and mess with one child, get one child out? Why won't they take her children? Why would they take somebody else's child? Most people, when they want to settle a debt, they gonna go in there and probably shoot everybody on sight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right.
They about to take no kids. They gonna shoot up your house.
They're not gonna pick and choose. They just gonna handle everybody.
Right.
Yep.
So do you think he's gonna turn himself in?
I think that he will if he's to make some type of arrangement with the DA's office.
Okay.
I think that he may.
Okay, I got you. So we've touched on the apology, and not the apology, but this funeral business, the seesaw of her not wanting him there. She blames him for leaving the child with Miss Sherrod. Darryinn and this neighbor business of him attempting to break in places and seen on cameras and the police not getting involved. What do you think about the police not responding to these people complaints against him? And like I said, how many complaints are we talking from these people in the neighborhood? And how big of a neighborhood are we talking? Are we talking about block 1, block 2, 5 blocks? What are we talking about?
Right. And did they actually call? Did they actually call the police and make a report?
Thank you, Julie. Okay, Mo 3 is being messy. Look at you. Talking about Monica also saying she's up every AM, 7 a.m. breakfast. Betty Crocker teaching ABC. Yes, she doesn't wake up till 10:48 on the AM that the baby went missing on drugs too. Possibly. I wish I could talk. I do not know how. Did the son admit it? Julie, just hit the link. Mods, drop the link. Julie, come up. You don't have to show your face. Just hit the link and come up and give your opinion, sweetheart.
Where's it at?
There's so many things that you can chop up and decipher with this case. It's baffling. See all over again. Everybody's tainted in the storyline.
I think this one is going to be an easy one for them to figure out, though, because yeah, I really do. I think we'll get some answers sooner than we know.
Okay, I got you, Mo 3. Okay, tell the chat what you discovered in the still videos that you have been examining. Tell them where to find them so they can go back and look for themselves. You all can wander out of the chat to go look and come back in and give us your synopsis of what Crystal is getting ready to reveal to you. Go ahead, Crystal.
Okay, so it is on the Daily News. The Daily News. Okay.
Daily Mail.
I mean, Daily Mail. Daily Mail. That's what. So where she does her interview, her and Cameron are on there giving the interview,
Okay.
and he's walking through the house and he's showing how supposedly this person broke in, this and that, yada yada. He goes into the bedroom. Okay. So they show that, they show the black and white, and then they also show the day after where the video is in color. Okay. The thing to look at is the paint cans that are in the corner next to the white table. In one video, the paint cans are away,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see, you can see it clearly. There's a black ball next to that table. Now on the color, the paint cans are a little closer, and that ball is still there, but now there is like a kind of like a black, uh maybe it looks like material, or like it's a top to something that's laying behind that dresser. So now that whole area is black. You'll be able to see it. And also the paint cans in the color on the video where the suspect is coming in, supposedly, those cans are orange.
Okay.
And then, but in Cameron's interview, that can is gray. And there's a still picture close up of all of that area. And if you just sit and you watch the video, watch the black and white, and as soon as it turns to color, you'll be able to decipher on what's in that image from the black and white and what isn't once it turns to color. So you know that that video is chopped. There's also with the blanket. The blanket has little polka dots on it and has some kind of design on it. You see it for a second in the black and white, but then the camera flashes and you don't see the black and white polka dots on that blanket anymore, and it's not laying past the bottom rail of the crib. You'll be able to see it. You'll see it. Uh, you'll see what I'm talking about if you pay attention to the blanket.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just hit the link, Julie. Just hit the link and it'll guide you in, honey. It's not hard.
And all of that is on the Daily Mail.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
two sources that's talking about it: Daily News and Daily Mail. Daily Mail is the UK tabloid paper, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that video, the whole video, it's on the Daily Mail. You can see all of it on the Daily Mail. And then there's that. Am I echoing now? And then there is. It's better if people watch the video on a laptop or a big screen TV or something like that. If you watch it on the phone, you're not going to catch that stuff on there. You won't catch what I'm talking about, because I didn't see it either until I put it on my big screen, and then I could see everything. You also see when the person is bending over, you can clearly see it. That sheet or whatever is up there on that window is so thin that you can see the camera in the back. It's like somebody's holding a phone, and that flash goes off on the phone. If you look in the second window in the corner, you can see it. But you can't see it from your phone if you're watching it because it's too, I don't know, it's too small. You got to watch it on a laptop or, like I said, a flat screen. You're gonna see it. And it's when he's bending over and he's getting ready to pick Cash up is when you see the flash. And then you see him walking away, you see the flash again. There's also another part in the video when Carter gets in his crib, he gets ready to lay down. That camera, the scene flashes so fast that you don't actually see him completely lay down. Then all of a sudden you see him, he's laying down. You got to really pay attention to it. You also see you see his head as soon as Carter's getting in the bed, you see a good portion of Cash's head. And then you see the suspect coming in. Well, at that moment, you'll see the camera glitch, and you only see part of Cash's head. You don't see that much of it. The blanket is it's like covering him. But you can catch it if you guys do it slow. You got to put it in slow mode. You can catch all of that. It's a cut video, and I think that's what's taking so long for them to file charges against Brown is because they know that he's not alone. Whether or not, I don't know if he thought about doing it or whatever, he is not a one-man thing at all. It's not. I know if I caught all of that, the police had to have caught it. They have to be looking at that. But that's all I gotta say.
I'm still here. Queen is still here.
Queen, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So yeah, if everybody or whoever wants to check it out, if you guys go and just really pay attention to the video, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. I don't know if you guys remember that movie Speed, where they're on a bus with Keanu Reeves and who's that, Julia Roberts, or I forgot what the girl's name. But anyway, they're on that bus, and they're trying to fake out the guy to make them think that that they're all on the bus, and then the lady's purse pops in and out of her lap. That's the same thing that happened with this video if you guys paid close attention to it.
Sandra Bullock. You hear me?
Huh?
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, with her. Yep. That movie. It's the same thing. You'll see the stuff pop in and out, especially right at the end where it gets ready to turn to the color video. Right then and there, if you just pause it, and you can go back and forth from your screen, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see stuff pop in and out. I don't know why I'm echoing. I don't have nothing on. Oh, yes, I do. My bad. There we go. How about that?
I'm taking me a refreshment break. It's thirsty. Hold on a minute, baby. The queen got too much going on now. I need 6,000 square feet for what I need. Yeah, I was like, I'm accumulating stuff. Like, what's going on, Jesus?
Now I'm not echoing. Oh yeah, I still am.
I don't hear you echoing. Maybe they hear you echoing. It's different than me being in the chat. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Oh, I got another guest. Excuse me. Whew. Okay. Just start.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
How you doing? Tell us where you're calling from.
San Diego, California.
Okay. Well, you want to address what I've discussed as far as the mother not wanting him to come to the funeral? Start there, and then work your way to Darryinn and the peeping and the breaking and entering and all that he said, she said stuff.
Okay. But before I do.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Okay.
Before I do, y'all hate. Why y'all can't
I'm gonna
address what
get
I
to it, but
actually
look,
addressed and start in the
like you
oil
said, like you always say,
man?
what you got this quote that you always say. Say it.
Say what?
It's like paint where it ain't, but that part.
Say what, baby?
You normally say that part or I'll wait.
Oh, I'll wait. I say a whole
Yeah,
lot of things. I'll wait.
I'll wait. Okay, well let me tell you, because I was looking at the video.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Which one?
and
The one taking the tour in the house?
yes, and I'm just gonna make an observation, and like you said, think, right?
Okay. Yes.
When Carter came back in to the room, I believe
Yes.
he came
Somebody was
back.
on his heels, weren't they?
Pardon me?
Somebody was on his heels.
Right. Okay.
Mm.
But what I was gonna say was is that Carter, when he came back, when he
Mm-hmm.
got into bed, his white pants had like a dark stain, like on the rectal area, right? But then he's
Okay,
kicking
wait.
his brother. His brother's not moving. The next morning, he jumps up and he has on black pants, black shorts with red stripes. Where they do that at?
I didn't. I have to go back in the video and look.
Please do, because he does. He jumps
Chris,
up in the morning and he has on black shorts with 3 red stripes going down. So it couldn't have been the same day.
Okay,
Or
I
are
got
they
you.
cutting off the video and changing his clothes because maybe he was just previously molested and when he came in, they it's just a whole lot on my mind. But I wanted to stress the part to you, Queen, that when you look at the video, you will
Okay.
see that you cannot make a black pair of pants white.
Okay.
So
Well, see,
if
that's
you
what we had already assumed anyway, just from watching and listening and everything, that there may be. Crystal had said that she felt like it was cut. The videos were
that's what
cut.
I
They
said.
were put together.
Yes, and it had been edited like 5 times.
Okay. So that's your opinion as well.
Exactly. And so also when
Okay.
the curtains at night, they were all,
Mm.
hanging off the wall. The,
Mm-hmm.
the sheets were hanging on the wall. The next morning, that wasn't there.
Okay.
The green sheet or the green curtain that was hanging off the curtain rod that was hanging
And see, that's what
on
I'm
the
trying to
wall.
tell myself. Is it the fact that because it was dark, they look different than in the daylight? Because I thought the same thing that one of the curtains on the far wall, it looked different than it did in the daytime. But of course, that's naturally wood. But at the time when I
Right,
saw it in the dark, it looked like something different.
right. And what I was checking out, and I kept going over the little Carter's pants, and
Mm-hmm.
those are not the same pants he went to bed in. When he came
Okay.
back in and got in the bed, you
Okay.
can the other pants, they were white and they didn't have any stripes on them, and it looks red, or it looks like it's color
Okay.
and on his bottom part area as he's getting into the bed and he's
So
kicking his
what you trying to
brother.
say? You trying to say something happened to his bottom?
Yeah, they in a house full of pedophiles. Oh,
Okay.
was I not supposed to say that? You can't say that on
No,
YouTube.
no, this is your opinion. This is your opinion.
Right.
I'll let
And
you know that you have a
so that's
panel
what
guest and you're giving your commentary.
yes, ma'am. And so that's where I came out with that ideology, because when you have been victimized and you don't get mental help, you become
Mhm.
you start victimizing. No longer a
Well,
victim.
that's what's happened with most pedophiles. A lot of people probably don't want to hear that, but everything comes from something. One thing begets another. That's common
Yes.
sense.
Yes.
Most
Yes.
pedophiles were abused as children, were raped, were sodomized, were molested.
Exactly.
And naturally, you emulate what was done to you. That's why children touch other children,
Yes.
molest other
And
children, sexual assault. I mean, they're going to be curious naturally, but somebody
right,
has
but
to
not
tell them,
like
hey,
that.
no, you can't touch each other. But
Right.
see, you don't know if your children are touching each other or the relatives are touching each other because it's a normal thing because they're going to be curious. It's only when you find out is when you're supposed to tell your children, hey, it's not
Exactly.
appropriate for you to be touching your brother, sister in their private parts or your cousin or the neighbors or whoever it is.
Yes, ma'am.
Whoever it is.
I
Whoever it
agree.
is. Okay, so let's get back to the title if you don't mind. But I thank
Oh,
you for that
please. Yes,
observation.
ma'am.
What do you think about them not wanting the bio mama not wanting him to go to the funeral, girl?
Uh, well, is there going to be police there? I mean, I'm just
Why
saying, like, is it
they
going to
need
be?
police there for?
Because, I mean, if it was my child, yeah, come on. Because I'm about to put you underground too. What?
Oh Lord have mercy.
I'm sorry. I'm in my little Scorpio feelings. I'm just saying. You,
Okay, okay.
you don't take mine
If you want
and
to be a
I'm
second
going to take
homicide,
yours.
you want a second homicide. You want to be a
What'd you
second
say?
homicide. It's gonna be a second homicide.
Well, I'm just saying.
Oh
All
Lord
I'm
have
saying
mercy.
is if she feels like she wants to jump into that pond, then let her go ahead and go to that funeral and she gets what she gets.
Oh my
I would leave it open
look
ended.
at somebody in the chat talking about and Brown had an erection. Come on, y'all. Y'all really showing out. Oh
Oh, they
Jesus.
showing out. But yes, ma'am, that's all I'm saying. I would leave it open because I would let
I'm
her
sure
have it.
Cash Brother checked to see if he was molested. I'm sure Cash Brother. Yes, I'm sure they did that.
Yeah, because I'm just I just wanted to share that because I really wanted you to see that as well, that you could tell that it's been spliced and it's totally 2 different days.
Okay, so basically, what you're telling me though, okay, I get it about the video because I think
Yeah.
some of us about to figure it out. There's some hanky panky with the video too. You don't think the father should go to the funeral? Yes or no?
Uh, no.
Well, what about the bombers? She left her children too. Remember?
I don't think either one of them should be invited.
Okay, but she got
Anybody who
custody of the
felt the
child now,
children
didn't
should not be at
she?
the
Okay, but
funeral,
guess
the
what?
wake, the passing.
She initially has custody of the children. How you feel about that? Excuse me.
Whew, I'll wait.
Okay.
Did,
Okay. I
did
got
they
you.
have they determined if
Okay.
the brother had?
Hello.
Ooh,
This is Julie. I feel like I met you.
Hey, Julie. Hey.
I'm sorry that I'm behind. I just had a grandbaby 2 weeks ago.
Say what?
I said I'm sorry if I'm behind. I've tried to stay up with you, but I had a grandbaby 2 weeks ago. But did they determine if the brother was involved?
Well, I just told you. See, you've not been following me, Julie. Only one person has been arrested for kidnapping and burglary. That's the black
So
child.
everything is
18-year-old.
still the same.
Everything is still the same. No new arrests and no upgraded charges.
Okay, on the video, I know that they were talking about that. This is the only thing I wanted to say. If you
Go
look
ahead.
at the man that was arrested, his hair is in dreadlocks. I'm a
Well, we know he got
cosmetologist
dreadlocks because that's what he
since
got is dreadlocks.
1998.
Say what now?
I've been a
I can't
cosmetology
hear you.
instructor since 1998. I know my hair. And that young
So what you
man,
trying to say with two different people,
the
Julie?
young man that was arrested, his hair's in dreadlocks.
Well, yes, we know
And it
that.
doesn't come over his ears. If you look at the first video,
Okay.
he's got a headband on.
Yes, he does. We know that. Yes, he's
The
like he's in disguise.
bangs of his hair
Okay.
are fluffy. They're not in dreadlocks.
Okay. Okay.
And then
Well,
the
a
hair
lot of
comes
people
over
made
his
that
ear.
analogy.
Right. And the hair comes over his ear.
Okay.
And the dreadlocks, if you look in his mugshot,
Okay.
the dreadlocks don't come over his ear.
Okay. Okay.
And then also, they said the child was found a half a mile away.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I just got through walking my 2-year-old grandson in
Okay.
Walmart for 5 minutes, and it must have killed me. He couldn't have carried a 4-year-old for a half a mile.
I know. We know this. This is why I told people. This is why I told people to always listen to what's been told to you, and you can use your discretion from what has been told to you. So the child was a half a mile away, as I said in my previous videos and tonight. How in the hell did he get him down there 8 blocks or so away by foot? If we
And
have
then
believe he does not own a car or borrow a car.
And the newspapers keep saying that when he came back the second time, that he got spooked and he jetted out there. He wasn't quick
Yeah,
to get out of there.
that's a lie. That's a lie. Yeah, that's a
Right.
lie. He didn't jet out of there.
No, he did not. He was talking to somebody.
No, he did not. He was looking around, and when he went to pat him on the head, he jumped up. I think he looked again. He looked at him, and then he looked around like he was going to say or do something, and then he walked out of there. That don't look like nobody that was spooked to me.
But do y'all hear a voice? There's somebody talking to him.
Well, there is allegedly people got content uploaded to YouTube trying to make it seem like he's talking to himself, like he's schizophrenic or something. That's why I said everything's up for interpretation. What you think he's talking to is either he's talking to somebody or he's talking to himself. That's why I said everybody has their own interpretation or what allegedly he was doing in that room.
And he got cash at 5:00 a.m.
Okay.
He was found at 6:30 around. And then he returned at 7. He was able to change his clothes and his shoes and everything.
But you got to count how far it takes if you're not driving. That was the purpose of me mentioning about the neighbors saying he's lurking around. One thing you didn't hear in the commentary from the neighbors is that there was a description of an automobile. So now you tie that into kidnapping. How did he get the child out of the house to point B?
Right. I mean, he didn't do it. He did not do it. He was set up. There, a third grader could tell you that.
Okay.
They had him go in that house the second time to get him on camera.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. That's what a few people are saying. Yes.
Because he didn't have time to do the damage that was done to that little boy, clean up,
well, first
and get back to that house in an hour.
But listen, there's one thing that we have to remember off the jump. There's no timestamp for the video. Who's to say that's even that same day?
Now, I thought they said that the police did say the video time. I'm here in Texas, and we get a little more, huh?
Okay, we over here in Tennessee, we ain't heard nothing. The police, somebody sent me something about a fake report or something the police then gave. I haven't seen no updates because I went in Google before I got on here, and there were no updates that the police gave a statement, press conference, or nothing. So the only update is what I just taught you.
And there's also a live stream video where a woman, they're doing it and she films the house, and that brother was standing out back.
Well, Ren, I thought about that too. They might have used the baby for sex or something, sex trafficking. I did think of that. Now, what did you say, Julie?
That there was another live stream video that was going on YouTube. That there's a lady from Dallas that actually goes to the place, and she went around back to follow the trace of where they said he went.
Mm-hmm.
And that boy was out there. Not the younger boy, the brother, the
Cameron.
Yes.
He was where now?
He was standing out there. He was standing like just going about everyday life like nothing happened.
Okay, talking about what though? What is he saying, Julie?
No, he wasn't saying anything. They drove by. It was just another YouTube live stream trying to keep up to date with it. And I was going to the page and just happened to pass it. I'm sorry. I'll get back on the subject.
Okay, yeah, I'm confused with what you're saying. Okay, so you're saying that Cameron, Miss Sherrod's son, he's been what, live streaming is what you're saying?
No. Another person like yourself had a live stream going, and they were in Dallas, and they drove by the memorial.
Okay, I think I know who you're talking about. Okay, they went by the memorial and what?
And then the lady, she's a white woman with blonde hair. They wanted to go around to the back of the house to see where he allegedly went in.
Mm-hmm.
And that brother was out back, and it shocked everybody because we were told that nobody was in the house, that they could go to that house and cleaned it out for investigation.
Okay, so what you saying? You heard nobody's living there? Is that what you're saying?
Right, but they are there.
Okay, well, she's got to have somewhere to stay, Julie.
Oh, I know. I'm just angry because that little.
But that's why I tell y'all, stop listening to gossip. Stop listening to gossip. Two of her children were taken by the state. Common sense should tell you she has to have somewhere to live. She's got to have somewhere to live. And if you don't hear that she was ordered out of her house and she don't own it or whatever, she has to stay there.
You're right. I apologize.
Unless she was renting and the owner says, I want you out. But we already know the law. You can't just put a person out. If, let's say she was renting. Not out, yes. Everybody is strange. All these folks are strange. It's just nonsense. Okay,
I'm just angry because that baby could be alive.
Well, but he's not alive, Julie. See? That's the whole point of what I've been trying to make you all understand. You keep asking why. What did I tell you? They don't need a reason. I did it because I could. The same reason people do what they want anyway when it ain't involving murder. I did it because I could. I did it because I wanted to. I don't need a damn reason. I don't got to explain it to you. I did it because I could.
But to blame somebody else, to blame somebody.
You got to stop trying to put a rationale behind why someone murdered a 4-year-old. They didn't care. Obviously.
Why is an innocent man sitting in jail?
Well, we'll have to see if he's innocent. We have to wait till all the evidence comes forward. All right, Diane, good night. Well, I know that they're echoing, honey. They said they're echoing. Julie, aren't you from Florida?
Texas.
Oh, Texas. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, Julie, look, we just have to wait to see what the evidence is, and we just have to wait to see what the forensics have. If it's going to link Mr. Brown to the death of the children as the suspect, we have to wait.
Okay. And I have my thing set for you. I hope to see you again or hear from you again.
Listen, why don't y'all answer the questions of my video, the title of my video? What do you think about the funeral situation? Him not being invited to the funeral, the father. It's a 2-part video title.
And like I was telling you, I've been behind because I've had a new grandbaby. Has the father been interviewed? Has he said anything?
Congratulations.
Has the father said anything? Has he made any kind of public announcement or any word?
That's why you're not listening. Nothing I done said. That's what the title of the video is, baby. He said he's not allowed to go to the funeral. How do you feel about that? The mother doesn't want him there.
I think it's wrong.
Why?
Because if he did not have anything to do with it,
But he left his children with somebody who's a drug addict. Allegedly, we believe she's on drugs. He left his child there. He took off. Anything could happen to his child. Something did happen to his child, Julie. The child is dead. Because
I
you took off and
understand
left
that.
your kid.
I understand that, but I also understand that that I do not think that a person, I would hope that that person would not have knowingly left his child knowing that that would happen. And as
Yeah,
far
but
as
think
the
about how
drugs,
irresponsible. But let's be
drugs,
true.
the father was probably doing drugs too, and so is
Okay,
the
listen.
biological mother.
Well, listen. It's irresponsible to just take off and you moved in with the woman for whatever reason. You're gonna leave your kids allegedly 2 months later. Just leave the damn kids there. Don't call, don't visit, don't do nothing. Just leave them there. How long was he gonna stay on the run? See, that's what people don't seem to understand. That's why I try to make you all understand. You have to break things down logically. How long was he gonna
But
stay on
they've
the
been
run?
together 2 years. That man and that woman, they had been together 2 years, so she had been around them children for 2 years.
Okay, that doesn't have nothing to do with somebody going on the run. He's on the run. He still hasn't turned himself in to our knowledge. So that's the point. How long are you going to be on the run and leave your children with her? They're still not her kids, Julie. Doesn't
I
matter that
understand
he
that,
her.
but
Doesn't
it's
matter
still,
that he dated her.
but it's still his child that he deserves to be able to go to the
So
funeral
he can
and
do
get.
what he wants with his kids. Well, guess what? I'm gonna keep it
What?
real with you. His wanting to do what he wants with his kids is now why he got a dead kid.
You're absolutely, you're right.
Because you see, this is what people don't understand about life. You think because you grown and you did what you wanted to do, it don't matter. Well, you see, you doing what you wanted to do brought repercussions to a child who has now been bludgeoned to damn death and thrown out in the damn street. So you see, when you look at the fact he was thrown out like trash, everything else don't matter. It doesn't
But I
matter.
also have to look at it. I also have to look at it from reality. And
Yeah,
a
he
reality
did what he
is,
wanted to do.
if I dated a man for 2 years that had children,
Mm.
and 2 years I was involved in those children's lives, there was all obviously some sort of trust that he left his children with her.
Okay, but the flip side is still we don't know who all's involved in the death of Cash Gernonn.
And if he's involved, he doesn't deserve anything. He deserves to rot in hell. But we don't know that the father was involved or not.
Listen. I ain't said nothing about Mr. Trevor being involved. You're missing the whole damn point. I'm saying there's a possibility that that woman is involved and her damn kids involved.
That absolutely they are involved. I believe that.
Okay.
But that doesn't make the father
you can
involved.
see that she gets high, and you can see that she still gets high.
But that doesn't make it that the father was involved in the murder of his child. So why punish him to go to the funeral?
Listen, you've missed the whole point. He can be charged because he left his child in a dangerous environment.
Charge him.
If they can prove, listen, I'm just saying, if they can prove the state that he willingly knew that girl was a junkie, also living in an unclean environment in that house. Did you see what the house looked like? Hell yeah. This is Texas, honey. You should know that. You said you from out there. What they do in one state, they don't do in another.
Ma'am?
Yeah, what they do in one state, they don't do in another.
I understand that, but I understand that every drug addict is not a murderer.
I ain't said every drug addict's a murderer. You're missing what I'm saying.
No. I don't mean to miss the point.
What I'm trying to explain to you is, if they can prove he was getting high when he was with her, he left getting high, she's been getting high, they can charge him for neglecting his children and leaving them with a drug addict.
And they should.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
But that's off the subject of whether he should be able to attend his own child's funeral.
Okay, I just asked the question, Julie. Well, in the end, the way it's going, the child ain't gonna get buried because they can't come to an agreement. Because the funeral home wants both to sign off on, I guess, claiming the body or doing whatever. I don't know. And they can't get to an agreement because she don't want him around. So how the baby gonna get buried?
That's just a shame.
Well, all I can say is I'm very religious when it comes to burying the dead.
I
Now, you
damn
hold the
too.
body because you don't have no money. But this cat and mouse game, reindeer games with the funeral home is playing, I don't like. Because I don't
I
believe in
agree.
that. That boy been dead over a week, and it's now Wednesday. He died on a Saturday, allegedly, I believe, a Saturday, Sunday. You holding the dead out for no reason, and you ain't got the money to pay, bury that baby and keep it moving.
Somebody needs to step up like the funeral home and say the mother can come and pay her respects, and then the father can come and pay his respects and bury the baby, and then let the law do what the law does to all of them.
Well, I'm just telling you, this is why I keep trying to explain to everybody, every state has their own bylaws and rules. And as you see, this funeral home is tripping about two people who obviously beefing with each other. And this dead baby is decaying every day all over this funeral home trying to get two people to come to an agreement. And we know in the real world don't work like that because let's just keep it real. Like I said, stay woke. The child was living with Mr. Rod. So the fact that these two are going toe to toe is very disrespectful to the dead.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Because neither was around. Whether they liked each other, trusted each other, I go on principle and facts. Neither
Right.
had custody of the child at the time of the child's death. And now these same two people butting heads on coming to the funeral, not coming to the funeral. Now the funeral hall is acting like the mob on these two need to come together. So they basically trying to force two people to come into agreement or claim the body or however it works. All of it's jacked up. Texas is hell. Literally.
It is.
It's ridiculous. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. What do you think about Darryinn Brown and the neighbors saying he been lurking around the neighborhood and me telling you possibly he don't got no car, so how could he have disposed of the body?
Okay, when
eight blocks away.
I don't think that the boy had a car, but the brother, from what has been told in the papers here in Texas,
okay,
is that the brother was a freak and was exposing himself.
Slow down. He was a what?
That the boy that was doing the interview, the brother.
Yeah, I know Cameron. What about him?
That the police had been called on him prior for exposing himself, indecent exposure,
okay,
to people driving by and that sort of thing.
Where'd you hear that at, Julie?
That came from I'd have to go back and look at my paper to see what source that was from.
Yeah.
But that the police department was called on him, has been called on him for indecent exposure on the brother.
Okay. Oh, Jesus have mercy. Well,
and I will find that link and drop it on my
community page.
Ma'am?
If you get a solid source, drop the link on my community page.
Okay.
So what about what I said? He's walking around the neighborhood. Neighbors are now coming forward saying they called the police. The police ain't done nothing. It ties into possibly what I said. He may not have a car, so how would he have gotten a baby 8 blocks, half a mile down the road to dispose of a dead body?
Are you asking me how he did it?
Well, I'm just saying. Yes, it's the title of my video, Julie.
No, I don't think he did it, so I can't say that he didn't do it.
Okay.
If you're
Okay.
asking how he could have possibly had that done,
But the point I'm trying to make is, I already said, how did he do it? How did he get the baby out? Where did he kill the kid? How did he get the kid 8 blocks down? Now the neighbors are coming forward saying he walked around the neighborhood. So what I said tonight is, where's the car? Nobody's identified a car. So did he park 2 blocks over, 3 blocks over? Where's the automobile? I tied that into the fact that he's allegedly should have killed the kid. So if he killed the kid, how the hell did he get the kid 8 blocks down the road?
right?
Yeah, it was a 9-minute walk.
Okay, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, all the same.
Mhm.
No way he dragged a dead body on foot, duffel bag, 10 minutes.
There
Agreed.
is no way.
Okay, Moonchild, what are you talking about? He left 5:50 a.m. He got to the woods 6:10. Didn't take long to do and then 13 minutes back. Moonchild, what are you talking about?
He didn't come back till what, 7:26.
He still carried the baby 20 minutes
Right.
on his own.
Dead weight.
Dead weight. Thank you. Damn.
Yeah, I can't even carry a 2-year-old in a mall.
So it don't matter. So it don't matter if he was dead or alive. You mean to tell me he took the child out the house alive and walked into the woods, or where the hell he took the kid to do what he wanted to do, or whatever he did, 10, 15 minutes down the road? Man, come on, y'all.
And that the person's outfit in the video looks light colored. There would be blood all over it. Nobody would have noticed a man walking down the road with a baby and blood. It didn't happen.
Like I said, you talk about taking him to the woods to kill him, molest him, whatever the hell you trying to say. Then he took him to the next location and dropped him in the street. Then he walked from there and went.
Right. Why not just leave him in the woods?
And then what he do? After he killed the kid and dropped him in the street, he went and took a damn nap and came back out, changed his clothes, and came back to the house to take Carter, but he didn't.
That's right. And then how long? I don't know how long it takes, but they said there was ants on the baby's feet already.
That's because he'd been out there a while. I just said, dang, he was out there for hours.
The police found him at 6:30. It was an hour and a half. So,
well, that's long enough time for an ant to crawl up on your foot.
Okay.
It's flesh. It's dead flesh.
What I'm saying is it was done very quickly. Very quickly. And he laid out there longer than what people.
Okay, so that leads us to believe what? He walked with the dead body alive.
That leads you to believe that he didn't do it.
Okay. So that's
that
what I'm trying to tell you.
that wasn't him in the video.
Talking about the woods and all that. I haven't heard one story verified yet about the baby in the woods, evidence in the woods. And that's why I keep telling you all about listening to people. He said, she said. I haven't seen one article come up yet.
But the video of the boy during the interview, the brother during the interview said that he got up and went out so fast that he had shoes on, a shirt on, pants on, or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the woman gets on there and does her interview, she talks about how her kids and her son walks all the way down here and all the way back, and he did all of that with those clothes on.
Yeah.
That story don't add up.
Honey, don't nothing add up about this story. Don't nothing add up.
No,
Period.
other than there's an 18-year-old man sitting in a prison, not knowing, or a jail, not knowing what the hell is going on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I thank you for joining me. Oh, Lordy. Jesus help me. Thank you. Julie?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you checking out?
Yes, I can leave if you need me to.
Well, it's okay. They said you're echoing there. Everybody's complaining about who's echoing and all
Oh,
that, Lord.
thank y'all for having me.
Okay, Julie. Thank you. Have a good night, baby. Good morning. Okay, Mo 3.
Yes.
Where are you calling from, honey?
North Carolina.
All right. What do you have to say about my title? It's a 2-part title. Let's just start with the mother not wanting him to go to the funeral of the baby father. Start from there.
I don't think either one of them should be there.
Because.
They wasn't there when the child needed them.
Okay. Oh, mercy.
And I don't know. I know, I'm with you. Nobody walked that far. Took a shower, cleaned up, came back. But they didn't do all that on foot.
Okay.
I think he had help. I don't know who helped him.
Okay. I got you.
Monica says, well, my kids went out and searched the block.
Yes.
That can't be true, because if they did, wouldn't they have seen all these cops? It was a murder scene.
Well, allegedly they saw him afar, but let's be truthful. If we're talking about 8 blocks or more, can you actually see 8 blocks down police cars?
Right.
And would you even know that has anything to do with what the hell you're looking for?
Right. And the daughter kept saying, Mom, it's our baby. He's the only baby missing.
Yeah.
According to
Who
Monica.
do you think from the house is involved, if indeed they are?
The mom.
Because
I think the mom was involved with that boy somehow. Rather, he was supplying her or they were dating. They had a relationship, some type of relationship.
okay. So you think perhaps they were having an affair?
Possibly.
So we
I
are
think it
talking
was
about
more drug induced.
well, okay, but whichever it was,
Mm-hmm.
he still allegedly may have some mental issues. So imagine a woman messing with a child. She's old enough to possibly be their parent, and they have mental disability.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that?
It's messed up. This whole situation's messed up.
Okay.
Them kids should have never been left in that house.
That's my point. Thank you, man. Yeah, I don't care nothing about nobody dating nobody, because in the end, you have to speak on what's been done, which is there's a dead kid. So don't give a damn about somebody like somebody, trusting somebody. A baby is damn dead.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know who all's involved. So to speak on who liked who was cool with who, that means nothing, because there's a dead kid who obviously can't even get to the damn funeral parlor without the funeral parlor worrying about who the hell supposed to get together to claim them.
Right. The state should have took over that living baby.
Yes.
Those parents shouldn't even be involved with that living kid right now.
Ooh, Jesus, well.
Because I'm sure he needs some help.
So we now have a new source of neighbors coming forward saying they called the police on him for breaking, entering, vandalism, this and that, attempt to getting in cars, yah. Police not getting involved for whatever reason, not following through with those said people calls. We don't know how many people call. We don't know what other charges he may have, because naturally all records are still for minors underage. This ties into my theory that I already said. How did he get the child to the dump site?
Right.
So we got neighbors now saying he walked around. Nobody said, oh, I saw him get in a blue Honda, Camry, Toyota, this, that. See where I'm going with that?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he obviously didn't have a car. I mean, none of the neighbors have brought up a vehicle. It's always on foot.
So how the hell he get him to kill him and then dump him? Shut up.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Night Owl says, I think it's more disturbing than we think. Monica needs to go to rehab and learn how to clean a house and make it a home. Air Force, please.
There was 4 adults in that house. Her parents are living there too.
Say what?
Yeah. She did an
I should come on
interview
there.
on Benny and Doug's channel um, yesterday through text messages. And she said that her parents were living with her.
Wait, stop. Slow down.
Okay.
Text messages.
Well, it was like through Messenger, and he was showing the messages up on the screen from her, and she was answering as he was talking on the stream.
This will become a circus. It's already a circus.
And she said, I don't know how he got in this house, and us four didn't hear him. And Doug said, oh, yeah, because your parents are living with you, right?
Oh, my God. 6 bedrooms, and they got parents living with them, but yet the children were living in a makeshift room with an open door that looks like a living room door. I'm dead. Okay.
The dad and the stepmom, she was arrested for breaking her toes.
Who broke whose toes?
Monica has a police record for assaulting her stepmother, Leslie Pinkerton, and stomped on her toes and broke them. And this lady's now living in Monica's house.
Well, when did this happen, baby?
2016, I think. It's on her police record.
Okay. Well, you know, the stuff I brought up and showed you all the other night just showed possession of narcotics or whatever.
Right. It's even got the affidavits and everything. I think it's on the Daily Mail.
But this goes back to what I had said in the beginning, that these people are tainted. Everybody involved is tainted. So it's that old saying, one thing begets another. You fucked up. You meet a fucked up person. She's got a fucked up person. She goes get this other effed up person. It's one thing begets another. That's why the child is dead. Because fucked up person meant this one messed up. He messed up. She messed up. Here comes an 18-year-old in the fold. Children possibly involved. That's the point. Everybody's tainted.
Yep.
And nothing good comes from something bad. Rarely does it.
And then if you go back and watch Benny and Doug's live, they took them pizza, and they mentioned how many people they had to feed in the house.
Oh, I heard about the pizza gate. Okay, so
and that's when the mom and dad were brought up again because they need to eat too.
I'm dead.
And my thing is too is how is this grown woman paying all these bills and she don't work? Got all these kids taken in as a safe haven.
Yeah. This is a troubled situation because these are troubled people raising children. And that's why we have a child dead right now, because in the end, all these people got criminal records, been doing this and that, drug affiliated. So we don't know what the hell happened. And my thing is, once you enter drugs in the equation, all bets are off.
That's it. Desperate people do desperate things and desperate measures.
That's it. And to sit up and try to aid some people you don't know a damn thing about, and they ass has been getting high and geeking, and they were probably geeking when the child went missing, geeking when they got there, geeking while they were there, geeking when they got kidnapped, geeking after the fact doing Daily Mail, geeking getting sold information to Daily Mail. Queen, stay woke. I know the hustle. I know the game, and game recognize game, and a hustler recognize another damn hustler.
Right. I would like to know when she got the cameras for the bedrooms.
Well,
I believe those were nothing more than a virtual babysitter for her.
Well, this is the crazy part. Crystal sent me a picture. Was it Crystal? It was a fan sent me a picture of the baby on the floor playing with a toy, right? The dead baby. If you look all the way down at the floor, there's a camera all the way down to the ground on that wall closest to the armoire. Y'all go check it out. Go check it out right now.
Yeah, it's on the door frame.
When you know where the armoire is, the armoire is right across from that big door. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I seen it. It was at the very bottom of the door frame.
Yes. Why is a camera way the hell down there? For what damn reasons?
And then if you go back and watch the video where the son did the
Way down at the door
walkthrough,
frame. Huh?
right? If you go back and watch the walkthrough that the Cameron did, he points up at the armoire on a shelf that the camera sat on. So you're telling me you have
But
two different cameras?
so now we're talking about two different cameras then.
Right.
Because that photo that was sent to me by a fan, a subscriber, whomever, that camera is all the way down on the door frame to the, like you said, to the fucking bottom, like the size of a toddler. Why the hell would you have a camera way down there?
Right.
It's crazy. Aphrodite
And
says,
that little boy, I want to think that the tape is spliced, but with that little boy getting into bed so quickly, or getting into bed and that man coming in so quickly,
okay, but
I'm gonna
guess
let
what we
you to believe he's the one that let the guy in.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say is that we don't have a time frame of the video footages, period. And that is creepy seeing that baby get in that bed, Carter, and then Brown is coming in shortly after he gets into the bed.
Yep.
So that's why I said, where the hell did Carter come from at 4:50 something in the damn morning?
Right. He wasn't going, no kid gets up like that to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. You know, he had a diaper on. They were wearing diapers.
I said that's the only place he could have been unless he was in another child's room watching TV or playing a game. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. I think what happened is they either tapped on the window or that makeshift door that you pointed out. And Carter was going back to bed from letting him in because he knew him.
That's a very good point.
He was just 2 days prior.
Well, that's what Mo 3 is saying. Carter, let in Darryinn Brown. That's something we have not thought about because I couldn't understand why the hell, if I'm to believe that this is actual time, why is this man on the foot heels of a toddler getting in the bed? Because, yes, he let him in.
And remember, Monica said she just came home 2 days prior and run him out of her house because he was playing with the twins.
Okay.
So Carter would have known him.
So this is even creepier. Dear God, help me. I don't know what to say. So Thunder says, I blame as of now in this order: DB, Dad, Dallas Police, Birth Mom, Monica. Amen, Thunder. Amen.
True.
All of the above are guilty. No way you walked
through this baby.
All those twists and turns without knowing where you were going. He was guided in. Aphrodite, yes. And that's what somebody else said. You've been in that dusty, nasty house before. And that's what was said anyway. He'd been in there days before. But the point was, in the beginning, that's not what was said. Oh, I went to school with him, but I don't know him. Then it changed to, oh, I know his brother. Then it changed to, oh, he was here days before, and I told him I don't want him here. No, you said I don't want him, like you've been screwing him. Shut up, Queen.
Mm-hmm. And she only come out and said that after people were questioning how did he know the layout.
And that's the reason why I brought you commentary of articles stating the police is trying to figure out, how does Darryinn know Cash? How does she, Monica, know Darryinn? And how did she identify him? So that means there's some hanky-panky with the storyline versions and the video footage.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know your layout of your home. So how am I going to maneuver through your house in the middle of the night? Not only by myself going in, but I'm leaving with a baby.
If I've never been there. Exactly.
If I've never been there. And even if I've only been there once, that was during the day. And I'm not going to be in your house scoping it out like that, I would hope.
Yes. And then I'm a thief. If I'm a thief, I'm coming in there to get some goods. I can look in that room and see it ain't nothing in here but a toddler bed, an armoire, and some toys. ting, I'm gone. Shut up, Queen.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anybody spooked him the second time. I think the baby just was moving and he just deterred. I think the baby must have woke up and looked at him, because after he leaves, the baby shortly pops up out of the crib.
If we on actual time, though, remember that now.
Right. So, see, we don't know if it's spliced or not.
So we don't. Right. So let me ask you this. Do you think Darryinn, if he is believed to be the person in the first video that was in black and white, dark time, it's now daylight and they show him in color, if it's in truth that was said him the first time, do you believe he returned to the house to kidnap Carter?
No.
Okay.
Because you got to think, Darryinn lived a mile from where that baby was put in that road. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That baby was found at 6:45 by that jogger. Darryinn didn't get back to their house till 7:26, according to that camera. That's their story. Darryinn walked by a murder scene to get back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Somebody saying Darryinn had no blood on him. When he comes back in the morning, not a spot of blood. Who did he hand the baby to who actually killed him? That's what I said. The person who picks up the child out the crib hands the baby face forward like he got a dirty diaper. Stay woke.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can tell he reaches in the bed and he smells his hand.
But that's not the way you pick up a child.
No.
That's the way you pick up a child you don't want.
I think that's the reason he picked him up like that, though, is because he was either wet or soiled. Because if you watch him, he reaches down to pull the blanket back, and he smells his hand.
Okay, well, I don't remember all that, but I'm just saying. See, everybody's pulling up something different from the video footage that they're noticing. But the one thing I do notice is the way he picked up the child is as if you're handing the child to somebody else, face forward.
I agree.
Head first. His head, the back of his head is facing the suspect. That's not a normal way to handle a child.
Right. And you can tell that Cash was still alive in that video. Because the way he drew his hands up, like into near his chest when that boy picked him up. If he would have been dead, he would have just been limp.
Yeah.
Or his arms would have been drawn up.
Because I couldn't tell as fast as the video was when he picked him up. I couldn't tell if he was dead or alive, since you got people now saying, "Oh, I think the baby was dead." But see, this is why I don't like these stories, because people start just assuming what they want in a story. They pass it as if it's the truth. There's no verification on nothing. You don't know if that child was dead or not. You don't know if he was molested or not. You don't know anything.
Well, according to the grandfather on Facebook.
That's what I'm getting ready to say. Yeah, but always remember the source. That's not the place to repeat.
And this is the grandfather now that was living in the home.
Okay, that's the point I'm trying to fucking make. Why would you go to Facebook and spread that and knowing your daughter is immersed in this drama? Think about it.
And say the baby was raped.
Okay, but think about what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
You live in now that we found out after the fact, allegedly, you live in this house where a rape took place, sodomy, whatever the hell went on, but yet did you call the police? Why are you telling people on social media when you should be talking
hours?
Okay, why are you talking to social media about
my point is how would you know all that? I'm sure the police didn't give you a rundown within hours, because they probably didn't even know.
Why would you repeat that to social media?
Right. And now Monica's crying because she's being judged and looked at. Well, you and your son brought that on yourself when you ran to the Daily Mail.
Yeah. Well, and for somebody want to sit up and tell me she didn't get paid, how you know what she did? Daily Mail specifically says at the end of that article, we buy stories, we pay for information. I'm not no fool.
Right.
You try that with somebody else. You try that with somebody.
There's one of them that defends her so bad. I had to worry. I'm like, you act like you're dating her, and you just met her.
Who?
One of these YouTubers. I mean, he's defending her to the hip.
Well, I know who you're talking about. You ain't got to call no names. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I know who
But
you're talking
it's
about.
just scary. It's like, is she that manipulating?
Well, my thing is this. People will take up for people who maybe have common interests, or because it's the area that they're from, or see, everybody's got their own agenda and the reason why
That's
they take
true.
up. My thing is this, and it's not to throw no shade, but there has been rhetoric about certain people aiding this woman and all of a sudden running to her aid. Why? When you don't know her. She's like anybody else immersed in a case. You don't know her. And that's how I ride.
And then she
I don't
and
So
then
I don't
she
know
said that she went to get the dogs from the pound.
Mhm.
Now, how convenient these dogs were in the pound the night this guy breaks in the house. Her dogs had been picked up by the ASAC there. And when she went to pick her dogs up, she got jumped and beat up by a couple girls at the dog pound. And then wrote in the message, I guess if I was dead, my kids wouldn't be getting all this hate. I'm just better off dead.
Wait, slow down because you're breaking up. What did you just say?
Monica said that she would be better off dead because her kids wouldn't get all this hate.
I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand that comment.
Right. Well, she was trying to look for pity, like throwing the suicide card.
Well, kill yourself. Because guess what? That's between you and God, what you do.
Right, but what mother says that when your kids in your home are going through something as tragic as this?
Let me tell you something.
You want me to believe you're a good mom?
Listen, I am 50 years old. Game recognized game. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. And see, I agree with Night Owl too. They don't remove your children if you're a victim.
I didn't fall off a milk truck yesterday.
Right. They took her kids for a reason.
The fact that your two children were removed, that means that the state came in and found something. The police was in there and found something. Foul play. And then the fact that your children have been removed beforehand, before these children ever entered your life, speaks volumes. And then you cry them on in an article saying, I fought tooth and nail to get my kids back. I sold everything, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, guess what? You didn't learn nothing the first time, because now why are your kids taken from you? This is why I tell people to stay woke. You hear what you want to hear. You see what you want to see, but go by what's been told to you. You now see that the woman has lost 2 of her children. Why would the state come in and take her 2 kids? Because this little boy was found bludgeoned to death from her damn care. Stay woke.
Yep.
Agree. Writing is on the wall, because it was always on the damn wall. It was a matter of who the hell was reading it.
I believe all of them should be charged with a felony, abandonment, neglect.
Yeah.
Every one of them. Every adult in that situation. Grandparents too.
Because what I have to ask myself is this. The state, I've never heard of the state reneging on an agreement of taking a child from somebody or not giving custody. So what I have to ask myself is, if he had custody, why would the state now give her mother custody? Because now one's dead. Stay woke.
And like I said,
what he told us is not the truth. Who's to say that the mother had custody and shit popped off? She got mad at the world. When he got out of jail, she decided to say, I no longer want to be a participant. I did all I can do. It's your turn. She took him over to his house where he was staying with the grandmama, whoever, dropped him off. She kept it moving. She's been living her so-called best life for 2 years. And then whoop, poof, voila, baby dead. Now we want to jump up acting like we are so concerned.
Well, I'm sorry if my ex, which my two girls are grown, but if my ex would ever took my kids out of a custody order and refused to tell me where they were, there would have been a Facebook post, a missing person report,
Mm-hmm.
a paper trail to the police department,
Mm-hmm.
court papers filed at the courthouse. There'd have been something.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing. Me and my mama been looking for the kids. Well, bring us a receipt of what you was doing,
Right.
times and dates. Because Sherrod, if we to believe Miss Sherrod, they tried FaceTiming you in December, if true, and it was a no-go. If that's true, why not, Miss Lady? Why would you
Well,
not FaceTime her?
and I don't know how true the messages are, but Miss Sherrod shared some messages. The bio mom called CPS on her and Trevor in February because she thought they had filed the kids on their taxes.
On their own taxes?
Yep.
Well, I can file them on my taxes if I've been taking care of them. Stay woke.
Exactly. But bio mom was mad, thinking that they claimed them.
Okay, well, why are you worrying about some fucking kids that you threw off on the daddy and left?
Right. And why would you say you don't know where your kids are when you clearly called CPS to her house?
Tell me how you know about this tax situation. Is this gossip on Facebook?
It was in messages between Trevor and Monica that Monica shared on Doug and Benny's channel.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
See, once again,
She called him out of
the information
retaliation.
you bring it, listen, just listen. But once again, everything is now from Miss Sherrod. I tell you.
Oh,
that's all.
absolutely.
Okay. So we don't know what's truth or not because
Right, that's what I said. I don't know how true the messages are, or
Miss Sherrod is the one who's been orchestrating all the he said, she said of this story.
of course Benny said he
There's
vetted
nobody
them.
else giving any conversation. Well,
Right.
Don't tell me what he said because I don't want no confusion.
Right. Well, no, he said he wouldn't have told anything had he not checked it first.
Well, how you gonna verify something if you can't talk to the other person?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
The only way you can verify is if you call Trevor and Trevor said, "Yeah, I claimed them." And what about it?
That's true. Anybody can be anybody on Facebook Messenger.
Ooh, don't do it.
Yep.
Oh wow.
It's just a big mess. And those kids never had a fighting chance from the beginning.
The most it's all suspicious to me, and the fact that Miss Sherrod is the only walkie-talkie in the story. That's why I tell everybody to stay woke. The one who had the children and got them dead is the one that's doing all the damn talking. Stay woke.
Only one talking.
Yeah, because the only thing the mother is saying is allegedly she don't want him to go to the funeral, and that's verbatim. If we to believe his version, the baby father. But everything else we've been hearing of the night the children went missing, not wanting Darryinn Brown to come back to the house, different versions of knowing them, not knowing them. It's between her and her son. And this,
but mom didn't even pay for the funeral.
This is strange to me that these are the only people verifying anything pertaining to Cash Gernon'S.
Right, and mom's going to say who can come to the funeral when mom didn't even pay for it.
That's right. That's right. So the mother to me is just as guilty, the bio mother, because like I said, if I'm to believe Mr. Rod, you were a no-go, no-show. You have not been around in the kid's life. And the fact that you crying wolf, that you was looking for your kids, well, bring a receipt to show us when you were looking for the kid, you filed a police report.
Well,
you went to the state child support office to say, hey, I'm paying child support, but they don't answer. They don't return my calls, this and that. Show the queen a receipt.
Well, Queen, they got two other twins. They've got two older daughters.
Who got older children?
Melinda and Trevor do. They got two older girls. They're twins too.
Okay, how old are they?
I want to say they're 12.
And who got them?
The maternal grandmother.
Which one?
Melinda's mother's raised them. So you want me to believe
So that's probably why she didn't want them little boys. She already had
that's
two
exactly right. You're wanting me to believe that you wouldn't even raise your own girls, but you were Mother of the Year to the boys?
Well, Air Force
That's
said,
why
I
I said
want
it's twin
Monica to keep
girls.
talking to dig her own grave. She done dug her own grave. And I'm with Crystal. No one gets a free pass from me. Amen. That's the truth.
Amen. Me either.
I bet if I go to Texas and offer Monica some meth or coke, I bet she'll tell me everything. Oh, Air Force, that's horrible. Lord,
But
give
all
me
you gotta do
strength.
is walk up to her door and ask her if does she want something to eat.
Well, let me tell you something. When she did that interview with the Daily Mail, I watched it again the other night. First thing I said is, them eyes are about to jump out her damn skull.
She didn't even blink, Queen.
I said, that lady is geeked up. Oh, Satan, she is geeked up. I had to
And my
watch it again.
husband noticed that. My husband said the woman didn't even blink.
Oh, I said all that. The eyes was ready to come out her skull. And then the skinning and the grinning, which some people have complained about that. But like I tell
Fake
people,
crying.
some people do laugh and, joke when they're nervous. Because like they said, everybody handles trauma different. Like what you would do, I may not do. So I
Right.
tried to be objective. But when I kept looking at them eyes, I said, let me tell you something, Queen, you ain't no dummy. You ain't
Remember
get
at
the
the end of the
55
interview, though, she said, I can't do this anymore. And she put her
anymore.
hands up by her face. Wasn't a damn
Well,
tear in her eye.
she was geeked up. That's what I said to myself, rewatching. I said, that lady's high as a kite, and this is shameful. And I said, and when you're dealing with somebody that's on drugs, anything is plausible. That's just common sense.
Exactly.
What the situation is. Anything is
You
plausible when you're dealing
desperate
with
enough, you'll
drugs.
do anything.
Yes, 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 Aphrodite. Yes, Night Owl. Yes, yes, yes.
Another thing too is
I still
like
don't
I
believe
said
the father
earlier,
was there. Well, what do you mean, Aphrodite? He was there. He was there when? Because if we're to believe her version, he left in March. But the source I brought you says he left weeks before the child was murdered.
mm-hmm.
So who's
According
telling
to
the truth?
Monica, he moved in on February the 14th, full
Okay,
time.
so that's what I'm trying to explain to everybody
Yep.
is that you don't know what to believe when you're dealing with mayhem. That's the
Sure
way it's
don't.
always been. That's the way it's always going to be. You don't know who you're
Well, it's
talking
like
to.
the other lie she told. We get up every morning at 7. I cook them breakfast. We do school.
Yeah.
We teach them
Yeah.
ABCs.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
play in the room. Girl, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Your kid's been missing for 4 hours. Your
Lisa, you
baby has
crazy
been
talking
in the
about her
road.
eyes as big as paper plates. Girl, you stupid. Oh, I can't. Oh, Satan, I can't.
So that one morning you didn't get out of bed. Then she said, well, the kids wake me up. Why are your kids waking you up? You the
Because
parent.
you sleep in. Because you sleep in. I told y'all, everybody lives differently. Everybody lives differently.
Your baby laid out there in that road, or that baby, it wasn't your baby, for 4 hours, and you didn't even know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on now.
Well, I just pray the truth is revealed and all that are involved. And I say this, and it sounds like it's deja vu from Cal City. If all that's involved, God show the way and have those people revealed.
That's how I
I
found
don't
you.
think
Is
this
that
house
case.
is run like a normal house. These kids probably do cook for themselves. Trust me, I've seen 3-year-olds make bottles for a baby. Well, you would make a bottle if somebody is making you make a bottle. Somebody's making you cook. Somebody's making you clean. Somebody's making you get yourself ready for school, get dressed. Did you see where I'm going?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like me. I have a 2-year-old grandson.
If that's the agenda, you learn that.
And if he oversleeps in the mornings, I'm already up and moving around thinking, why ain't he up yet? Because I'm already alarmed.
Yeah.
So
Well,
there ain't no way I can sleep till 11 o'clock in the morning knowing my grandbaby gets up at 6:30, 7 o'clock because he goes to daycare all week. So his routine on the weekends is the same as it is during the week. He gets up the same time.
Yeah. Well,
So I'm going to sleep till
well, on the
lunchtime.
weekend, but like I tell people, on the weekend it's different. That's a time when it's leisure. People do sleep in on the
But
weekend.
yeah, but kids that age, they don't know the weekend from the weekday.
Mhm.
So if you want me to believe that Monday through Friday y'all get up at 7 a.m., then your kids are going to get up at 7 a.m., 8 o'clock during the weekends too.
Mhm.
My 2-year-old grandson don't know the difference between a Monday and a Saturday.
Mhm.
He just goes to bed the same time every night and gets up the same time every morning.
Yeah. Well, it's a suspicious story. It's obviously suspicious. It's very obvious that there's some hanky panky going on. And with the neighbors now confirming that they have called the law about Darryinn Brown, the law never showed up to assess the situation with the attempted break-ins, whatever was going on with these people. Like I said, what's the
What do
radius
you
of the
think,
neighborhood?
Queen,
How many blocks are we
about the
talking?
neighbor
One block,
saying
two
that he
blocks.
tried to kidnap their 9-year-old granddaughter?
See, I don't know anything about that. I heard something I think the other night, but this is why I keep trying to explain to everybody. Everything is probably stemming from Facebook. And this is why I tell you all Facebook is a dangerous place because it's no
Well,
different than
this one
YT
put out video footage
of them trying to take their kid.
of this boy roaming around their yard, and then he said he'd come into their house. The front door was open. He opened up the screen door and tried to assault their 9-year-old granddaughter.
Okay. Well, ask yourself one question. If that's true, then why are we on this story?
That's why they're saying Dallas police has failed this neighborhood.
Okay, but listen to what you're saying now.
I,
If
I
I
hear you.
have
I
footage,
hear you.
if I have footage of an attempted sexual assault, rape, abduction,
This is where the ankle monitor
why
supposedly came in.
why are we talking about this story? He
Right.
would already have been apprehended.
Well, so now this is just hearsay from the neighbor, but he was arrested on it, and he was bailed out by his mom and put on an ankle monitor. But the cops say he wasn't
So
under
that's
ankle
the said.
monitoring.
Okay, so that's the said incident of the April 27th arrest.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how old was the child?
9.
So he's obviously, if we are to believe this is true, he has an affliction for younger children.
Yes, and then there's another video footage, Queen, of him peeking in a back gate.
Yeah, I saw that one already.
Okay,
Yeah, I
well,
saw
there's
that.
2 little kids that live there, and they play basketball right there.
Okay. But they also
So,
said that house is borders Miss Sherrod's. That
right, but the
Alvarado.
gate he was looking in was their backyard
Okay. Well,
where their kids play.
My understanding is that it was Mr. Alvarado's house.
Yes,
Or it
it's his
neighbors.
backyard.
Well, in the end, like I said, if you have somebody on camera doing something at your house, I don't really see how this is even an issue that the police. I'm just dumbfounded that the police hasn't done anything. If you have this same footage that you're
That's what
now
I said.
uploading to social media.
Yep. If that's the case, then Dallas PD is just as neglectful
Mm-hmm.
because all this could have been prevented. Especially if this
Barbara
kid
tells us
running around
that
the neighborhood.
Cameron stated to the interview that that's where they slept that night. The question is, did they not sleep there all the time? What do you mean, Barbara? Who's they? The children? I don't understand what you're saying.
He did say that.
Yes, I don't fool with Facebook. That's just me. That's why I told one
So
girl,
you're
Carol,
telling me those babies are in that room just for that night?
I don't go. I don't go run to Facebook because Pookie or Ray Ray was on
I
Facebook
don't either,
talking.
Queen.
Because in the end, Facebook is not the place to be airing anything that's pertinent to a case, and nor is YouTube. If you have any pertinent information pertaining to a case, you're supposed to go to the damn detectives, and that's just the bottom line.
They post it everywhere, jeopardizing everything.
I'm waiting for Brown to break and tell it all. Well, I hope he
Me
can.
too.
I'm trying to understand what Barbara
I
was talking about.
definitely believe that he had help.
The question is, they did not sleep there all the time. When did Cameron say that? I need to hear
On
that.
the interview
So what did
with
he
the Daily
say? That
Mail,
they what?
he made it out like they were just there for that night, that's not where they sleep at all the time.
Well, where did they sleep?
He didn't say. The verbiage
That's why I
he
told people it
used,
didn't look right. It didn't look right. A big ass open room for two little babies. That was a sitting room, den, living room. Come on, y'all.
Yep. What absolutely is, because I have the same thing in my house. I have 2 dens. And my back den has sliding glass doors that lead to the porch.
Well, Baby Cakes is confirming the same thing. Yep, he said it on video that this is where the kids slept. See, sometimes I watch stuff and I don't really pay attention to everything that the person is saying. Obviously, I need to go back and watch that video of him giving the Daily Mail a tour of the house, because I'm assuming that's where this commentary is coming from.
Yes, but see, I didn't see what Jahar seen, so now I'm going to have to go back and look at the
guy says he's lying too. Okay.
Because that really intrigues me if the pants were different.
If the what's different?
If the baby's pants are different.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. A lot of times we watch stuff, we really don't be paying attention to the stuff that we're watching. You understand what I'm saying? Because you have to remember, the first footage is in black and white. So that's a tricky situation when you're dealing with a camera that's showing nighttime versus daytime when it's color. So we will see if we go back in the video, if the children were wearing a different, if Carter was wearing a different set.
Then we know it was spliced.
Yeah.
I do believe Carter let him in there.
Okay. Okay.
That baby wouldn't have been up for no other reason at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Yeah, that was a late time. That's why I said he was on the heels of that kid, man. That's scary.
And they had pull-ups on too. You can see it right through the shorts he's got on.
Barbara says the police said there's 2 other people involved. Where's the source to that, Barbara? Because my understanding from somebody that sent me some information yesterday, Facebook has uploaded information pertaining to this case by the police department, and somebody said that is a fake information from the police department.
Well, I know they had a council meeting yesterday with the Dallas PD, the neighborhood did. And they did, supposedly, I wasn't there, confirm that one person was involved. And
okay, but what I'm trying to say is, when I went in Google tonight before bringing you this information, nothing popped up saying the police spoke to anybody, had a press conference, anything. Don't you find that funny? That would be the first article in the queue.
I believe so too.
Yes.
And why haven't we heard about this Hispanic person? Are they juvenile or, I mean, what?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. But it won't matter if they're juvenile or not. You don't have to give their name.
Well, it depends. Well, I know here in North Carolina, I work for the DOC, and it depends on how egregious the crime is, if they'll report the name or not.
Well, like I said,
but I don't know the laws there, so.
Search.
It's just
nothing
sad.
about other children's and nothing about no police reports and press conferences. And I already had somebody sending me information saying there was a fake report that the police giving information. Of course, I don't trust nothing that comes from this person because they like to use numerous accounts, and she know who she is. And I wish you stay out of my inbox with your fake usernames. You know who I'm talking about. Give it a damn rest. Just give it a rest. But someone linked footage. I watched it. Moonchild, why don't you get up on the live? You all type too much. Just Get up on the panel and say what you have to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Jesus.
jump down, but I appreciate you letting me up.
Oh, anytime, baby. You take care,
All
okay?
right, thank you. Good night.
You. Okay, bye-bye. Okay. I'm 2 hours and 29 minutes in. I'm gonna end this live because it's long-winded. But oh, the meeting. Yeah, okay. Now the article I brought you tonight, yeah, they did mention a meeting. Yes, they did. I take that back. Sorry about that. Because I did mention that in this commentary that I brought to you all. Let me go back in my source. Hold on one second. I mean, pure rude. But I'm just saying I didn't hear like a winded statement from the police. So let me stand corrected. Excuse me. Okay, the Daily News is the source where I brought you the issue of Cash Gernon'S parents in dispute about the funeral. And then the next source I brought you is Fox News. And in this source, this is where the neighbors have filed a complaints pertaining to Darryinn Brown. And the community gathered Monday night for a meeting with city leaders and police to speak about their concerns after Cash Gernon'n was found dead on May 15th. A man who remains anonymous told WFAA-TV that his home surveillance camera recorded a man who he said appeared to be 18-year-old Darryinn Brown, suspect in the child's alleged kidnapping, trying to open car doors in his driveway April 19th. He and other neighbors told the station they alerted police several times about the prowler, who they believe was Brown, but officers never followed up. How do we make sure that this doesn't happen again? The neighbor asked police at the meeting. We called a month ago, and now a child's dead. So I did bring you said comment that they had a meeting where these neighbors were trying to get an understanding from the police and the city. I don't know what's going on with these people. I don't understand why the police didn't follow up about anybody thinking somebody's trying to break in a house or cars. It's very strange to me. This is just very, very strange. There were clearly several failures in protecting this child. Yes. I couldn't hear everything you said. The little I made out was really interesting. Thanks for going up. Okay. They talked about the grandma that he attacked, tried to steal her granddaughter earlier this year, allegedly. Okay, Moonchild. Yeah. I will bring you an update to any of these said allegations against Mr. Darryinn Brown of trying to kidnap a child and or information of vandalism to a camera, peeping through wood gates. Let me say this about Darryinn Brown. Perhaps he is a predator in the making. Because as I state, most predators, sadists have to have a start. So they start with petty crimes. It has been known with serial killers that theft is one of the major petty crimes they start out. They start stealing. When they were children, they partook in starting fires, abusing animals. So you see, as I've always said, one thing begets another. And perhaps Darryinn Brown is a problem person, whether he has mental disorders or not. 9 times out of 10, he has issues. The fact that he doesn't have any problem with opening your car door, attempting to open your car door, home door, gate, fence, he has an issue. And to me, that's a very dangerous issue because when a person is bold enough to try to enter a car, enter a home, and not even give a damn who's on the other side of the door, you are basically dealing with a psychopath. A psychopath who has no emotion, no empathy, and obviously doesn't mind with possibly going toe to toe with the other person on the other side of the door. So one would say, well, if he's that bold to enter in car doors, homes, what else is he capable of? And I get that. And I get that. So one could ask themselves, do they know that perhaps that he has deviant behavior, Miss Sherrod? So besides him being a mentally disturbed, mentally slow, we're going to use him as a scapegoat. Could it be we see signs in him that he's deviant, dangerous? Oh, he's the perfect patsy to get rid of this kid. But what we have to ask ourselves is what was the motive for knocking off this 4-year-old child? The smart one, the leader. Was it the fact that perhaps Cash Gernon'S was rambunctious, uncontrollable, wayward, too swift, doing too much? Miss Sherrod couldn't deal with him, got tired of him. He was a problem, became a problem. Get rid of him. Exactly. Trust no one when it comes to your children. How do you kick in a door that opens outward? Yes. Well, Barbara, as we stated, the house was unkempt. So I'm going to bet my bottom dollar that the door didn't take much to fudge to get in. And the issue with the ankle monitor. Each article brings a different scenario pertaining to the ankle monitor. Some of you are saying that he didn't have it on and this and that. But as I state to you, the information I brought to you said that he did have an ankle monitor on. Once again, I have no verification if it is true that he had an ankle monitor on when he went into this said home. And are we to also believe that this is actual set footage in real time on May 15th of Mr. Darryinn Brown entering that house? Is that even him in the video taking the child out of the bed? Is that Darryinn Brown? Did Darryinn Brown double back to try to take the second child? You don't see a fuss fight, so you really can't say that. That's the opinion of Miss Sherrod. Well, you're gonna have to get you some rest, honey. Gen X, you'll make yourself sick if you don't. Julie says he did have a monitor. Rambunctious was the motive. This fool told us why he killed those brothers. Okay? And that's what I'm trying to explain to you all. Is that you don't know people, and when you have information that people have been dealing drugs, selling drugs, mental disorders, theft, fraud, you don't really know what you're dealing with. And I just call a spade a spade. You don't know these people in this story. You don't know who's all involved in the disappearance, kidnapping, murder of Cash Gernon'S. And I don't put all my eggs in one basket, because even sometimes what looks bad isn't what we think. We've seen it many times. People were accused of murdering someone or getting them missing. There was no proof, or they had another suspect, or evidence showed the person wasn't involved. We really don't know what's going on. But my prayers is with whoever actually cares for Carter Gernon'S and the baby brother who is now deceased, Mr. Cash. This is a very sad situation. This is a very sad situation. Because you don't know what to believe, you don't know what is the truth. And this got Cal City written all over it to me. And I pray I don't look up in September, like I told Crystal, and we're still talking about this dead kid. Well, you all don't let the cases affect you, because it's dangerous to let the devil get in your brain with foolishness. You're going to have to block it out, and you'll make yourself sick. Who is Darryinn Brown? Why has he been lurking around people's houses, trying to break in their cars, their homes? What happened to him? Was he abused physically, sexually, mentally? Does he have the mental capacity of a 4-year-old, 8-year-old? What is his problems? What are his mental disabilities? Is he actually mentally disabled? We have not been afforded the opportunity to have that information of what is actually his mental issues and capability, capacity. But I do know there is something nasty, rogue about this story. And I do believe there are more people involved than Darryinn Brown. And the fact that I told you that the neighbors have come forward to say he walked the neighborhood, they basically told on themselves as far as him taking a child, how would he have gotten the child to kill the child, and how would he have been able to dump the child off, and how would he have been able to get from that location of the dump site to his house to clean himself up, then double back from cleaning himself up 2 hours total at least, back to that same house where he's allegedly committed a crime, to walk around the house, look around, talk to himself, whatever you want to call it, touch the child's head, leave out without harming Carter. Why not? Thank you, Nana. Why did Darryinn Brown not harm, kidnap? Some of you say he went back to get him. Well, if he went back to get him, why is that child alive? So that's why I tell you all to stay woke. Think about what's been told to you. Think about the evidence that you've already seen. Child dumped in the middle of a street. A suspect has not been charged with murder. A suspect has not been linked to owning an automobile. The suspect living farther away from the dump site of the body. He's not even living in the neighborhood that he's walking around, scurrying around. So now one has to ask themselves, why is he in that neighborhood lurking? How many blocks radius are we talking about in this said neighborhood? 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks? Maybe this is an intricate plan to set up an 18-year-old African-American male because he is a petty thief, prowler, sadist, whatever you want to label him. He was a perfect patsy. The perfect patsy. Yes, so many layers. Prayers for Carter Gernon'S. Want to get more information pertaining to the father, if he'll be able to see the child at the funeral, if he's going to turn himself in, if he and the mother can meet halfway in with the burial of his child, getting his child buried, because that's the most important thing, is to get the child buried. And the funeral home, I think, took a lame way out of saying both parties need to be involved. My thing is, you should be more concerned with burying the child. He's dead. He's not going anywhere. Your goal is to bury him in a dignified manner. And that's what you should have done, was taken the money and made the provisions to get the child a proper funeral. Instead of this he said, she said, between the mother and the father and the sister and the cousin and the baby daddy and whoever else wants to immerse herself in this case. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome to the live. Thank you for your time. This is a horrific case out of Dallas, Texas. And I don't know what's going to become of Darryinn Brown. I don't know if he's going to speak on his behalf and tell what actually happened, if there are other parties involved. But I pray he tells the truth, because his life is on the line. And who knows, he may even be facing the death penalty pertaining to killing a child under the age of, they'll probably say 13, 14. It'd be a terrible thing to face the death penalty at 18, 19 years of age. Thank you, Mo3. Thank you so much. Who is Darryinn Brown? Is he a sadist, creeper, petty thief, prowler? Child molester, murderer? Are there other parties involved in the kidnapping and murder of Cash Gernon'S? Are there other orchestrators? Was Darryinn Brown coerced to commit murder? As I state, he has not been arrested for the murder of Cash Gernon'S. We're waiting on forensic information to come back that may implicate him in the murder of Cash Gernon'S. Thank you all for joining me. Thank my mods. God bless all of you. I will be back with more information pertaining to this case and other updates to stories I brought you. Thank you so very much for the support. God bless all of you. This is Everyday Shenanigans.